Yeah.
You've got the king of spades. All right. Bleh, can you go see our gentleman there with the king of spades? It's a good start. It's a good start. It's a good start. All right.
No.
Okay.
No.
Add some fun to your space with Xtrfy, designed in Sweden with focus on quality products built on experience. You're looking at Project 4, their 4th generation of products with super cool colorways to stand out, with matching sets to satisfy with a solid B4 bungee, lightweight ergonomic M4 mouse. The K4 keyboard is fantastic, all of which are performance focused, and finish it off with colorful GP4 mouse mats that are bold in design and smooth on the surface. The retro theme in particular has got the feels. Complete your setup with Xtrfy. No regrets, guaranteed.
Hey buddy, let me show you how to fix that. Bitskins.com. Buy and sell skins instantly. Deposit and withdraw funds instantly with crypto or directly to your Visa card. Bitskins.com. The best skin marketplace.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to HLTV Confirmed. At this point, I believe that we just operate under the fact that we like to be fashionably late. But we've been going in here for about 17 minutes now. As you can see, we've already got Jason Movistar here to replace Striker, who's not feeling too well. We've already got Dexter, our first guest of the evening, on the seat, ready and raring to go.
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda. Prof as well here to help me steer this ship. And Lucas.
Yes?
Come poke your head out the door and wave to everybody.
I'm putting out fires, so I can't.
All right, well, if the fires get worse...
I'll come join you later.
If the fires get worse, you will have to leave that room. So, all right, well, I guess I have to do all the hosty things, right?
Yeah, do the introduction,
okay.
The sponsors,
some of them. This is our second live show with an audience, so I want to thank every last one of you here for joining. We've already had a bit of a back and forth today, but I appreciate everyone turning out.
Kind of feels like a classroom.
Not anymore, it doesn't. So I don't know what they're saying.
They'd be all expelled in my class.
Yeah,
all failed.
They're very passionate.
Better luck next time.
Let's get the sponsor stuff out of the way. So we've got Xtrfy, Bitskins, and of course we've got Imperial, which is where we are right now. Big thank you to them for putting all this on. It's a fantastic space. It's definitely an upgrade from where we were in Antwerp. Just to everybody here, right? We're going to have a bit of an intermission, about an hour in, for bathroom, get a drink, do all that kind of good stuff that you need to do. What else do we have going? I'm just trying to think. Oh, if you know, this is it. It's a long time, right? So if you get to the point, you want to stretch your legs, you want to go wait out there, you want to go have a chit chat, that's all good, right? If you want to leave early, there's no dramas. We don't know how long this is going to go. We don't know where we're going to end up, but hopefully we can have some fun without alcohol this evening. We're supporting responsible drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, there you go. You got water. Chris has got water.
I did a lot of responsible drinking last night.
Yeah.
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 Didn't you just? We live all in the same hall, and it gets noisy in the early hours of the morning when I'm sleeping, being a granddad.
There was a little bit of noise
last
night, wasn't there?
Just a little bit of noise. But look, we only have Dexter for a shorter period of time now.
You can go a bit longer.
All right. Let's get everybody up to speed, right? So we're here for IEM Cologne. We're back in the Lanxess Arena. We've got Twistzz over here as a special guest as well for later this evening, which is fantastic. We're going to get to chit-chat with him. But last time he was here, And last time that we were in the Lanxess Arena, Liquid won, which feels like a lifetime ago, right? That was probably the last time Liquid were good as well. So we really have to go back in time. But we're finally returning. It's sold out for all 3 days. This is one thing I wanted to do early. Okay, so at the start, if you were one of the 52 people who got here early, out of about 80 of you, you would have received a card, right? Everyone has a card, yeah? Okay, look, everyone's bringing out their cards right now. Now, Jason.
Yeah.
I want you to pick. Actually, no, we'll get Dexter to do it. I want you to pick a card, a number, and a suit.
Okay.
All right. What number and suit?
I mean, can it also be like king, queen? Doesn't have to
Yeah,
be
that's
number.
true too. Any card in a deck.
King of spades.
King of spades. Who has the king of spades?
Spades is the spades is always the suit that's picked, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got the king of spades. All right. Bleh, can you go see our gentleman there with the king of spades? It's a good start. It's a good start. It's a good start. All right.
No.
Okay.
No.
So we can't call them by like certain names because they're all big people.
Call him King of Spades.
King of Spades.
The King of Spades. All
Mr.
right.
King of Spades. Now you see all these lovely goodies over here behind Twistzz that are on the backboard. We've got a framed shot of the NAVI team that won last year. On the edge, we have a frame that's of the artwork that was done in the trailer this year. We have a bag with Apex's face on it, which personally is my favorite goodie. And we have a shirt on the left side, Cloud9 signed by the team with nothing, shrouds, etc.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a throwback.
On the right side, it's a NAVI jersey signed by Edward Zeus, Simple Electronic, and Seized. Yeah, so that's a bit of a throwback there as well. Now, there's also a mouse pad, a HLTV Xtrfy mouse pad there. Because Dexter called your number, what one of those 6 items would you like?
Ooh.
Safe call, Navi jersey.
Okay, all right. Bleh, can you hook him up?
Fair enough.
All right. So that's our...
Keep doing this, but I'll try.
You'll be fine. You got a throne.
At
It's
one
all
point,
good.
I'm going to trip over. You know this, right?
Yeah, but that's half the entertainment, right? So
Entertainment for us.
he doesn't get the hanger.
The Navi jersey?
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah,
get the hanger,
there
but he
we
gets
go.
the shirt.
The
Now,
hanger goes back to my hotel.
all of these goodies here, other than the Xtrfy mouse pad, have been provided by ESL. ESL have hooked us up with some goodies here this evening to give away to... Jesus Christ.
He's done it again.
We should have done a bit of a sobriety test on it before we got
There
in
are
here.
stairs on the other side, Bleh, just so you know.
Also, we do need that hanger, Bleh.
We need the hanger. That hanger is from the hotel room. So
I mean,
there we go. But all good. Okay, so there you go, Chris. Doesn't that feel good to give something away?
Yeah.
All right.
especially this process. The process was better. It's always about the journey, not the destination,
Yeah,
as they
watching
say.
him trip over himself.
And that's the first win. Is the microphone broken? Microphone might be broken.
Check.
There we go. It's working. Okay, that's going to come out of someone else's paycheck. All right. So let's get into a bit of a conversation here. Now, I want to open it to us first. If we have anything for Chris, you guys better have some fucking questions for Chris.
Go first.
I mean, I'm shocked with MOUZ being in the playoffs. I feel like everyone else is as well. The Cologne curse, people didn't even talk about it. It's a really cool storyline. Like, MOUZ never made the playoffs. They're a German team, German tournament, all of this, but no one talked about this tournament because, like, they're not going to make the playoffs. Like, it's pointless to even spin that whole story. And somehow you are in the playoffs. So what the actual fuck? Like, how? Because nothing implied that you would make this jump right now.
Yeah, definitely not. We haven't had a good year at all, so it's been quite a shit year, actually. But so far, with this tournament, yeah, I guess we just kind of shifted mentality a lot. With each game, we had more confidence and more courage to do what we are good at, like, which is aiming and punishing people and playing calm in the tight situations.
Do you think a part of it, right? A lot of these teams are talking about being tired, but I think everybody's in the same boat. Do you think that's just a bit of an excuse that's being thrown around?
To be tired?
Well, this is the thing. It's end of the season, right? This is the last event of the season. Some teams have been traveling a little bit more than others. I get it's been a lengthy time, but some of these bigger names that you guys took down, like, do they have any excuses here? Like, I'm not saying that that it's not excusable to lose to you. Of course it is, right? You guys are a good team. But we get to the end of the season. This tournament for the next 4 weeks means a lot because everyone's on holiday, right? Like, they're all teams who, like, Vitality have Zywood, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Like, these are names of teams who should be trying to go deep in these tournaments, and they got their asses handed to them.
I don't think it's too much of an excuse because of, like, they have amazing orgs with $1 million budgets. They could probably have like a masseuse and chef and anyone following them around just to make them feel more relaxed and enjoy life. So I think no matter what, it's just they have to, I guess, request it and just go with it a little bit better and just
So it's kind of a David Goliath situation that you feel like when you play against someone like Vitality, who is one of these teams, like we imported the Astralis sports psychologist and the cook from, I don't know, Japan or whatever to only eat sushi every day because it's the best food. Like, do you feel like that going into the game is like, fuck these guys, they have everything. Let's prove that we're better.
We kind of like create our own like image of it all to show that we're not the ones under pressure a lot. So obviously the massive org, whatever, and we always like kind of repeat to ourselves just for our own sake and our own confidence that they are who they are and they have all the pressure for themselves. They have crazy storied names, right? So we kind of create that illusion for ourselves, and it works. It just works. We just say that we're playing under no pressure, they are playing under pressure. So take that, make sure that we're punishing them, then we're not the ones that are scared.
I'm curious, out of all your teammates, who are you the most impressed with or surprised with, like performing in this environment, right? Because you still have Twistzz, you still have JDC, who are still new to the Tier 1 realms of Counter-Strike. Is there any of those names that you were surprised performed to the level they did?
There's very little details about every single person that's done a really great job. So, for example, Bimas, his clutches have been insane. Before this tournament, it's been okay in practice, whatever. But right now, on the in-LAN situation, he's played like insanely calm, insanely sharp, and it's just like been amazing. Twistzz been super calm in a lot of situations, able to help lead the team as well in a lot of situations. And he's been doing his moves, and he's been playing like
some bangers.
Yeah, he's playing like it's a pug basically, and just running around, jumping around, and just like no scope people doing whatever he wants. And
his entries have been magical.
Yeah, exactly. And then Frozen, he's more adapted into the leadership role. He's calming people down. He's only 19, turning 20, right? And he's already telling people how to set their mindset essentially and be calm. And JDC is just like getting into his role a lot more. He's understanding how we want to take space and everything like that, and he's taking that space. And all those things has just made it really easy for me to call as well.
Is this MOUZ sports stuff? I guess what I would want to know is this do you feel like the changes you guys have made in the level that it's let you get to at this event is something that can be carried forward? Is this going to be a consistent MOUZ experience coming out of the player break?
Hopefully no one memes me 6 months down the line, but I think it'll be important with our bootcamp pretty much. If we have a good bootcamp in the next season, it's going to be the goal basically, because when we put in JDC, we didn't establish a system at all, and the whole system just didn't work for the three months we played.
We've heard those whispers that you guys have I forget for what event.
Dallas.
Was it after Dallas? Yeah, that you guys kind of just got together and were like, let's change everything. Let's switch it up. Like let's change the style that we got. I mean, that's obviously been a huge factor for this run.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of talks with our sports psychologists. We talked about like everything from what we disliked about each other, what we liked about each other.
Oh, Jesus.
Everything.
One of those talks, a real come to Jesus moment.
And we had one of those. And then I suggested we do a full restructuring of like our maps and how we want to approach practice, how we want to approach prep, how everything, like just so much like shit for like 2 or 3 days. We did nothing but sit in a hotel room and just talked it out.
Yeah.
And I guess now
it works.
it works, I guess.
But that's pretty common, right? Like I don't know how many people are hugely familiar with the stuff that happens within Counter-Strike teams, right? But I remember, you remember Boomzer and Tegs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So and Top Gun and Soldier, right? You want a fun? Maybe here's a fun anecdote. I'll use their expense here. But back in the day, this was what? No audio?
Can't hear you, Chad.
Come on, Lucas.
Lucas.
I was going to say I didn't hear my echo.
It was a bit weird.
But you guys are all working, so it's just me.
It was Top Gun.
Well, I can't.
Boomzer and Tegs.
What, you're going to repeat
Take
every
his
line?
microphone.
I can't take his microphone.
Hey,
Maybe we could
Bleh.
We can hear
Come
it.
on, baby. Get a microphone up here.
Thank you, Bleh. Just come sit here, Bleh. Come hang out, mate. All right. Oh, you're gonna. Oh, that's right. I told you not to let anybody let it go. Okay, so like in one of the team talks that they had, this is before I joined their team. So we're talking 2007, right? There were two sets of brothers, and they're big guys. You remember what they look like, right? They're not small dudes. They're big guys.
Huge.
And there was a massive argument, right? This is how we used to do the team talks back in the day, like back over 12 years ago now. Is like it would get like pretty aggressive. Like people would get pinned up against walls and get like, no, seriously. I'm being deadly serious. Like they'll be yelling. This is before we had sports psychiatrists, psychologists. I don't know which one it is. What doesn't matter.
Psychologist.
That's the one, yeah. But that's before we had any of that good stuff. And we used to just yell at each other and have like emo men sessions in rooms and get it out. And then you would, fix all your shit and you'd go in the next day. And
How
everything
would you
would be
fix
good.
it? Who wins in these arguments?
No, because like
the loudest
eventually,
yeller, the
No.
guy that cries first, or
eventually, right? Everyone gets the aggression out and the anger, and then you actually do talk through the problems, which is not a healthy way to do things. Don't get me wrong; it's dumb as shit. But
very male
yeah,
way of doing
that's how it
things.
used to be, right? Like, it sounds like you guys did it in a healthier way.
Yeah, we definitely did.
But why the fuck? why is Beamer shaking? Is he watched too much Kirby? What's going on with his aim?
I don't know. He's just got a fast mouse pad.
Fast mouse pad. Looks like he's. Makes me sad to watch, man.
On the subject of that chat.
Booms and tags?
No, yeah,
the shaky end?
the Australian way of getting things done. I think it's been 6 years now, and I think I could tell the story.
Okay.
let's go.
And half these players have been retired now, so I think it should be good.
Okay, is this Winter
But-
Fox?
No, it's IEM Taipei
Oh,
as
the
a
Top Gun.
Chiefs.
I remember that event. That was a
And
great
the
event.
first, we were playing the minor there, and basically, this is my first big LAN international. We get there, and for some reason, Chad's drinking on the first day as well. We're all drinking.
That doesn't sound like the chat I know at all.
No, we're all drinking, and
Test.
on the first day, my team. I went to bed early, 10 p.m. It's all good. I'm a good boy.
Sounding good
right?
so far.
Yeah, and then I get a knock on the door at 1 a.m. One of my teammates, Burner UK, runs in, steals my shoes, runs away, and then I like look at the hallway, and he comes back and says, "Oh yeah, I need the shoes because this is a massive fight right now." And then I just go to bed. I'm tired, and then I go back to bed, and then an hour later, someone comes back in. And then basically the story is that one of the players, Zuzi, got punched in the face by a light step.
Oh my god, fake snake.
Got punched in the face. Top Gun had to wrestle Zuzi away. And then I was like, I just wake up to this story and I was like, holy shit, I need to play the minor calls tomorrow in Taipei. And my whole team has decided to punch each other and fight each other. So the next day we have the most awkward breakfast. It's like 7 a.m. Everyone's like, there's one group over here, one group over here. No one's looking at each other.
Jeez.
And then
Did you win?
we made it to the semis.
My
And
man.
we almost got.
That's a very Australian story, I
So
feel.
yeah, that was probably my first big LAN event and big LAN experience.
I bet you were scared to come overseas then and wonder what they did over here.
Yeah, I was a bit. It's going to be a fight at every LAN, everything like this. Yeah.
Okay, but you had Top Gun there. He's a big lad. We're talking about like very niche part that a lot of the newer Counter-Strike fans are probably not too familiar with anyway.
That event also has one of my favorite memories of you, Chad.
What did I do?
You guys were playing in the finals against the Mongols.
Yes.
It's the deciding map.
yeah.
It's on Inferno.
Fuck.
It's on Inferno. It's a good time. They're having a great game. It's a fantastic
We'd
game.
already qualified everybody.
Yeah.
Wherever the rest of this story goes, it's
Irrelevant
not so
game.
important.
It was a very close affair. It was down to like, I don't know, it was like the 28th round or something like that. And I think you got killed carrying the bomb, entering into the B bomb site, and the bomb dropped into a portion of the map where it is unrecoverable. So
Into the grill.
For 45 seconds, you just see all the Renegades players just running around in circles, trying to do whatever they can, and just lose by straight up bug in the game. And I just think that's your misery is kind of funny.
Hilarious. Yeah, in that same game.
What is it, Schadenfreude?
Another
one? Does that sound good to Germans?
Deutsch.
Schadenfreude? No?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, okay, I got some
All
knowledge,
right,
yeah.
we got there in the end. All right, let's do this. Bleh, you ready to get moving?
Let's do it.
Okay. So, look, does anybody in the audience have a question for Dexter? If there's not a single question, We might have to. So we have to plant someone in the audience.
Well, let's pick another card, and that person has to come up with a question.
Let's fucking
hold
go.
up a second. We can't put someone
Let's
on the
go.
spot like that.
Let's go play. You pick one.
The ace of spades.
I knew it.
I have to, man. Oh, there's a question, right? All right, perfect.
So we didn't have to.
That's one question.
Is my mic not working?
Yeah.
It's working?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
Yes, nice one, Lucas.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Hello. Dexter, do you think this lower bracket run can set you up for deeper runs in the future, like a turning point for you guys?
In terms of confidence, definitely. Everyone has the confidence now to do what they want to do. And it's up to my role to make sure that it's enforced and that we're building upon it so that people don't fuck around, basically.
Okay.
And if not, they're going to get wrestled.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll get
well,
Top
he's got
Gun
the
and wrestle
experience,
everyone.
right? He's definitely got the experience right there. Any other questions for Dexter? Here we go, in the middle, Bleh. Wait till he knocks over the beer.
I've got one simple question. Who's the most funny guy in mouse sports?
Oh, okay.
Probably Torji for me. I like to poke him a lot, and he always laughs like one of those little bears. Like, and it's always a funny experience for me. So,
Okay.
I'm a little bit of a bully. I just poke him, and then he has a funny laugh and accent.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, we got a couple of hands, Blair. We got one at the top here in the G2 jersey, and we got one on the far side. So
Right, how am I going to make my way?
Well, there's stairs on the left and the stairs on the
there we
right.
go.
So there's ways up.
This is so much easier.
Do you have a pedometer? You should be counting your steps.
I should.
So, Dexter, if you would have a kid, what would his or her name be?
Damn, that is a great question.
I mean, he has a kid already, so.
What is their name?
What's the name of the kid?
Sexter.
Not
we have
very
another
creative,
one, right?
man. You surely got something else in there.
I'm gonna squeeze this one in. Just yell it out, man. I can't come all the way there.
Come on, Blair.
It's so hard to go on.
We
in,
got you
Chad.
Roman, man.
Oh god. Oh, is that a roaming cam as well? That's
Look at this
amazing.
camera. Look
It's
at
on
this.
you constantly. We've got a little joystick in there, all the good stuff.
All right, how am I gonna make my way in here?
What about hug the pole?
Yeah, but like it's
Look
in
at
between.
this.
Screw
we
it.
go.
This is teamwork.
Part of the seas.
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying the
I'm
camera
losing
work,
weight at this rate.
observing.
Back from your time in Greyhound, how different is it to play in a team that isn't like educating people for the next team? Because Greyhound would take, Greyhound players would go to Renegades more often than not. So how different is practice knowing you have your teammates for a longer time?
Ooh.
That's a nice question.
That's a
Well
great
done.
question.
Yeah, that's a
well
good
played.
question. I think it's like quite difficult because there are like CS can get super deep to the level where you're criticizing every little bit of detail about your teammate and how they play situations a lot. So right now, for me, it's like being in the team for a while. I would try not to go down that path too much. Honestly, it's so I try to like just build on the confidence now. I feel like in the past, players have gone downhill because of that, basically, because you just always grinding them down, like grinding. You shouldn't pick this small gap or something like that. But now CS is a different world where it's all mental, and you have to keep each other up, and you have to be full focused all the time.
So you're nicer to your teammates knowing they're not going to leave you.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
But this also does sound like what karrigan was saying after the major. It was kind of down this road. I don't have to teach people the micro mechanics or how to peek this angle or how to do whatever. It's all about the vibes.
Okay.
It's the vibe meta right now.
Fair enough. The confidence all coming out. All right. So tomorrow you play against Astralis in the opening game. Right, you are whether the Germans like it or not, you are the German representative. You live in Hamburg, right?
Yeah.
So you basically want it, but you don't speak any German.
I speak a little Deutsch.
Yeah. What do you got? What do you got?
Entschuldige, my Deutsch is scheiße.
There we go. That's what we need to see. But are you going to do tomorrow? I imagine when you're on stage, there's going to be some portion when someone chats. Are you going to let JDC do that, or are you going to go up? Have you not thought about that yet?
I haven't even thought about it yet, but JDC if he wants to, but I'm used to talking on the mic, so I'll do it just in case if he doesn't feel confident doing that, so yeah, I'll take care of him.
All right.
You want to get the German crowd behind you, you got to let the German get up there and do his thing.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe let JDC get up there and get away with that.
What is the most German thing? What is the German thing JDC can do on stage? This is for the big crowd over there to win over the crowd. What do you do?
Go big.
Yeah, walk out in a big jersey, I suppose. Don't know how well that one will go down. No, he's going to win him over single-handedly. I was in Bay Area Burrito. Maybe some of the people from Cologne here are familiar with Bay Area Burrito. I was on the way here getting a burrito.
Good for you.
Making sure I was fueled up. And the guy behind the counter, as I was leaving, he goes, are you cheering for MOUZ tomorrow? And I went, well, I'm casting him. I can't be too biased, but Dexter's playing. So, yeah, and he's a big fan. The guy serving the burrito.
He's a big fan or a MOUZ fan?
I think he's a MOUZ fan. But he's a German Counter-Strike fan, right? So, like, there's definitely some people who are getting behind the team. And I think tomorrow is sold out as well. So, if all 3 days are sold out, it's going to be a great turnout there.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Now, is there anything you want to give us as a glimpse into the matchup? How you feeling? Maybe not the map. You don't want to give Glaive a heads up here. But is there, you know, you've been doing
Some
the prep
mind
now
games,
for a
maybe?
week. Like, have they overperformed?
Have Astralis overperformed?
Yeah,
No, I think they're heading in the right direction. So
They're not here. You can say yes.
No, I don't want to talk shit to anyone. But
It's only for these 50 people here, or 100, so it's not going to go outside.
Oh, yeah, really.
Oh, there we go.
Thanks, Bleh.
No, I see the Astralis are in like a similar situation to us throughout the entire year. So it's kind of like that weird bond almost that you're like, oh, you kind of, I hope they do well, but they're not doing well at all. And the same thing is going for us. So
We've both sucked
Yeah.
all year, man. It's good to see you again.
So, someone's going to win, though. So,
True.
you know. And then it would set up the rematch for you guys against NAVI if you did pick up that game, right? On the other side of the bracket, it's Liquid versus Movi, and then the winner of that takes on FaZe. So do you want to maybe, this is where you can be smart and do the gamesmanship. You can say you're going to pick a certain map and then pick another one tomorrow.
yeah, we're going to pick Overpass tomorrow.
Okay, wonderful. And we don't know if he's being serious or not, everybody, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, very stone-faced here. All right, Chris, I know that you need to get to work and be prepping for tomorrow. So do you want to hang around for a little bit longer, or you want to get going? Because either way, I want you to be rested. I want you to be ready to go. I want you to be given the best MOUZ we can possibly get.
I'd love to stay, but I probably should get going. Got to get
See,
to work.
responsible here. This is what we want to see. All right, I want to thank Dexter for joining us here this evening.
Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. All right, so good luck tomorrow.
See you, bro. Good
Now
luck.
we're gonna keep on trucking through this.
We have the Skinionaire next?
We
or-
do have Skinionaire. Now, Jason, are you happy to be our little quiz subject?
Yeah.
We want to do it with someone in the audience.
I think he picked someone from the audience.
I think we
to
get
sit
him to
here
do
with
the-
us, with him.
Oh,
and
do
they
you
do
want
it together.
You want to pick someone in the audience to help you?
Yeah, let's do it. Who wants to help me?
Maybe you do the cards.
That guy in the back was the first one with a hand up.
Okay, there you go.
Johnny on the spot. I want
He's
him.
in. All right.
Just a sec, guys.
We can still use the card situation. It's not a problem because maybe head on down. Yeah. Maybe he gives bad answers to help Jason,
Yeah, like he fires it.
and then he doesn't win the prize.
How difficult of a quiz are we talking here?
I don't know. I didn't do the questions.
Perfect.
He didn't make the questions.
When
so
I did the
they're
questions,
not going to be about.
it was really bad.
Yeah, apparently it was.
Come on up here, brother.
I tried really hard.
Take a seat right on the other side of Baby Yoda.
All right, this headset
Throw
right
that headset
here,
on.
whack
Yeah,
that on.
that bad boy.
And you're going to be able to hear yourself when you talk.
Oh.
So it's a little bit jarring in the beginning, but you know where your levels are at. What is your name?
Max.
Max?
Maximilian. but
Maximilian.
Max better.
Okay, all right, we'll just go with Max. Max, where are you from?
Not far from here, but here in Germany as well. A little bit to the west, but it's pretty small.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Another thing, don't touch your mic
Okay.
the whole time.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
Okay, so we've got. How's your Counter-Strike knowledge?
Fairly good.
Okay.
Cologne.
Moses,
is
how
good.
do you feel about this? It wasn't really a convincing answer.
Fairly good.
Fairly good.
That's
I
fine. It's
think
about
I'm
how
good.
I'm feeling right now, so we're at least on the same page.
I hope I can help him.
Oh, okay. So we're waiting for Lucas to get the quiz set up, but
Just a minute, guys.
as usual, the uninitiated, we're doing Who Wants to Be a Skinionaire, which is brought to you by Bitskins.
And
Now, you've
naturally.
done this before.
I have done this
right?
before.
You get 60 seconds, 5 questions. Now, the two of you can confer with the answers. I'll make sure that I'm reading them out, multiple choice. And every question that you get right, we're going to be moving it up a notch of skins for the viewer at home. Now, also, Max, if you do a good job here, Jason might be nice and give you a choice of the giveaway. Because we got some stuff to give away. So someone at home will win something, Max might win something, and maybe someone out there will win something as well. So as soon as Lucas is ready to go, we can start. Right now, Max, this is what we call in the business, we're filling.
The fill.
We're filling right now. So who's your favorite Counter-Strike team, Max?
At this event or in general?
In general.
I would say, okay, Astralis is pretty close, but I like Heroic more.
You like Heroic more?
I think. I'm hearing the big crowd aren't liking that answer, but I like the team. I don't dislike karrigan unlike most of the scene. But I hope Astralis can play well. They haven't in the last few months, really. But I also like MOUZ. I mean, I'm from Germany. I think JDC hasn't been on the team for that long, and they haven't had a German player in a while. So I don't know if that counts. August German, that counts for someone. But I hope there's gonna be a good game tomorrow. I'm pretty neutral about that one.
Okay, yeah, I think that's the thing with the Lanxess Arena, right? Every year we come back here.
Pretty neutral, yeah.
Yeah, because there's only one time where Big made it to the final, right? And we all remember that. I'm sure we don't forget. To be like the Titan game that I played, no one forgets it. But the key with it is, oh, here we go. We're ready to go. Lucas, are we ready?
I guess so.
That's so confident. Oh, my Lord.
Okay, well, here we go. Can we do question number 1? Question number 1. Which
This is definitely not the question. This is definitely the old quiz.
Okay, so maybe the answers haven't been updated yet. Is that the case, Lucas? I think I got short.
I guess.
You guess?
I just.
Well, some other
just
questions.
updated them.
I mean, let me actually, we don't need any of this. I'll just read the questions.
Okay.
But what about the
Imagine
people
this.
at home?
Imagine this.
The visual for the people at home.
I mean, they'll just have to close their eyes and imagine.
Okay, I want everybody at home to close their eyes and imagine.
All the people.
All the people. All right.
So we can start with question number 1.
Here we go.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
you
enthusiastic.
need to count to 60. And,
oh,
and then
okay.
do
I
the
will count to
doo-doo,
60 in my
doo-doo.
head. All right.
Which Spirit player had the most opening duels during Cologne? Was it Patsy, Chopper, or Wonderful?
Which Cologne? Which year?
This year.
Okay.
Just the group stage.
That would make sense, yeah.
Can I have the options again? I mean, they were pretty
Patsy.
good last year.
Patsy, Chopper.
Patsy was fantastic at the major, so he's the top of my list.
I
right
mean,
now.
I
Wonderful's
think so too,
a fantastic player too.
I know he played very well on overpass against Astralis.
Okay.
I remember that one because I heard his name very often against Liquid as well.
So
because
it's
he's
just about the opening duels, not even about the success, just
Okay,
taking them.
just the opening kills.
Okay.
Can you hear the options again?
20 seconds.
Patsy, Chopper, or Wonderful?
I think that's Patsy.
You want to go with Patsy?
Yeah.
We're locking
I feel
in.
like it's Chopper, but let's lock in Patsy.
Locking in A, Patsy.
Correct answer, Patsy.
Yeah.
Ooh, nicely done, Maximilian.
Thank you.
1 for 1.
1 for 1.
Only my grandpa calls me Maximilian.
There you go. It's perfect.
Well, I mean, it's respect.
It's a strong name. I'm going to use it.
Yeah, I
Thank
think it's a great name.
It's fantastic.
I love it.
All right.
So now Jason's your grandpa.
I mean, it's about respect.
Which
I mean,
team?
up there.
Which team never won a Cologne event? Is it A, Astralis, B, Liquid, or C, NAVI?
Well, I know this one.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, it's
You
pretty
take it away
obvious.
though.
Well, it's Astralis.
Well, you picked
Are you sure?
you picked someone really
Yes,
ready.
I could tell
I'm
it with
sure
the way
about
his
that.
hand shot up in the
Because
sky.
I remember that Glaive talked in the interview. I watched the video that came out, I think today, where they interviewed them, and Glaive said that he wants to win it because they missed it. He told the story about how they missed it before.
He can dream. And we can all dream. So yeah, correct answer is Astralis.
Max is all over
Yeah.
this. He's
Yeah.
fucking killing it. All right, 2 from 2.
I love it.
All right.
There's a kind of a curveball question now. I don't know who made this question. Which
Perfect.
team won just 23.1% of their T-side rounds in Cologne group stage? Is it MOUZ, G2, or Outsiders?
Oh.
I really want to go with G2.
I mean, I know which one's not. I don't think it's MOUZ.
Okay.
Although Dexter's not here anymore, we can't ask him. but-
No, we can't ask him anymore. But they had some good T-sides in this event.
Yeah.
So let's scrap them off.
Yes.
So it's between G2 and Outsiders. for you?
Yeah, I think so.
And everyone loves to hate G2, right?
Everyone loves
That's
to
why
hate
I feel like
outsiders.
this question has got to be geared simply to shame G2.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
Probably.
I like the thought process here.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer.
I don't think Outsiders played that much. And I don't think they really were that bad. And I mean, with the percentage, you can say that they played a bit more.
G2's had some tough T-sides this year as well.
Yes.
You want to go with G2?
Yes.
Nice. Let's lock that bad boy in.
We've got the questions on the screen now for everybody. as
Oh
well.
my God!
Look at
bless.
this.
The technology is there.
It's all happening.
Well, let's hope that they see a
I
few
can
green.
click this now. Hold up. Let me click this thing here. We can even bang. We're locking
Here
it
we
in,
go.
and we can get the reveal. The correct answer is.
Lucas.
Can we see it?
We should be able.
Oh.
Outsiders.
Oh. That was my fault. I did that one.
No, but I feel like we all thought G2 had been shit, so it's okay to think that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was a classic bait. It was a classic bait.
Okay.
We fell for it.
It was. It was the curveball comment.
Yeah.
As well. It's your fault.
I mean, I don't think that's...
Specific number as well.
All right, what's question 4?
I mean, now it's on the screen.
Oh, I can just do this now.
Take
okay.
over. Do your job.
Sorry.
For once.
Question number 4. I've had a busy day, all right? It's been a busy week. I was doing haircuts yesterday, all of it. Okay. Who was the MVP of IEM Cologne 2019? Was it Elige, Simple, or the Woo?
I mean, in the final it was Liquid versus Vitality, I think. So I think Simple's out. So I think Vitality probably had a very strongly performing Zayawu. So it could be him or it could be Elige because they won.
The MVP is rarely. Thank you. The MVP is rarely the loser, right? I think there's only been
a couple times.
There's only been a few times. Simple's had a couple of those.
I mean, there's a guy behind you as well.
Russ, who was the MVP when you won Cologne? Shit, it was Zayawu.
Well, that's cheating, but...
we had a phone a friend.
Thank you.
We'll lock in Zayawu. All right. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's when Alex used to say that they just used to flash for him.
I was... yeah. Yeah, let's go with that. I actually was going to say Elige, just because... Just because.
I had an inkling.
All right. 5th and final question here. It's coming. So is Christmas. Who is coaching the new team featuring Bondic and Edward? Davkost, Smike, or Shara? What the fuck is this question?
I know this one. I know the answer to this one.
I have a hint.
That's good, because I only know one of those 3 names.
I have a hint as well.
I don't know. Did you
Is the hint that he fell off a stage?
I wanted to say he had a very memorable Cologne stage performance.
Yeah, there we go. Do we have the clip? Because we can.
No, I don't have that. I don't have that.
We're that prepared.
Fuck Shara in there.
We started 15 minutes late. If you think we're that prepared, we got clips and stuff. But, you know what's going around here. All right, locking in Shara, and the correct answer is Shara. Okay, 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Pretty good.
All right, Jason.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Max's performance?
I think he's great.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think he nailed like the first 3 questions.
Do you want to give him the choice of an item, or do you want to pick an item for him?
Ooh.
Because he didn't get 5 from 5. If he got 5 from 5, I would be more than happy to let him pick.
All right.
So I think you're going to have to pick
grab an item
here.
for you.
All right, all right.
You have a cable on your headset.
Yeah, I'm going to take it off. I'm going to set the water down.
Step at a time around here.
I don't know. I saw Bleh trip on a flat surface, so I'm not taking any liberties.
Insinuating anything?
But if you watched Pimp's latest Twitch clip, he believes the Earth is flat.
No, seriously?
He was joking, right? I just wanted to be clear about that, but that was meant to be the joke in itself. Jason, now with some hard choices here for Max. You've got the Apex bag with the face.
Talking about falling in Pimp, do you remember his adventure in Bucharest the first day when he fell into
yes, he did
puddle
have
of mud?
unfortunate experience.
That was very fun.
Oh, wow. Look at this.
I'm very thankful for that because
I
don't have a jersey yet for Cologne, so
well, you do now, and it's signed.
Thank you.
Oh, that's very good.
And Jordan Nothing Gilbert, he'll be here. He's been here this week in Germany. You might see him around. I don't know if there's any Nothing fans. It was a while
vlogging.
ago. He's vlogging. Yes, you might see him. You might see him. But thank you, Max. We appreciate your time, and you can thank Jason for being so kind.
I had to pick the North American one. Thanks, Max. Well done, brother.
All right, so that's Who Wants to Be a Skinionaire.
We have a winner from home.
All right, who's the winner from home, Lucas?
It will be...
I'm in Discord if you want to message me on the Discord.
It's here on the bar.
It's here on the bar.
Near
99. Well, congratulations to Near 99 at home, who won a $15 skin. Should have been 50, but they got one wrong.
That'll happen.
That will happen.
That'll happen.
All right, so we're done with Skinionaire. All right, this is where we would have the intermission.
Do we do it now, quickly?
Well, this is the thing. How's everybody feeling? Everyone's okay? See, this is the situation, because if we want to rock the intermission, we can, or we can just keep going for a little bit. But I want to get Twistzz involved too.
Yeah.
So, look.
You're captain of this show.
I know, I'm aware.
We could do like a 5 to 7 minute.
We got to do the break now if people want to buy stuff.
Okay, if you want to go buy something, you want to get a drink, we'll have a break now. How long are we having a break for? 10
Let's
minutes?
say 8 minutes.
8 minutes, okay.
10-minute break, everyone will be back in 15 minutes.
Sounds good. All right, be right back.
The Xtrfy M42 RGB, what a fun mouse with 5 colorways, lightweight frame at just 59 grams with a swappable backplate to suit your grip style, the sensor, the easy core, the smooth skates, and driverless control for RGB and DPI is why you should check out the M42 RGB down below.
Buy and sell your skins now. Easy, fast, and safe. The best skin site. Credit card deposits and withdrawals. Instant cash out methods. Get the best deals. Quick, simple, reliable. Bitskins.com.
We've got a couple of members who are still making their way back in. Jason and I are the only ones who return to the microphones. Bleh, though, he's on time.
He's here.
How's the throne?
Pretty comfy.
Pretty comfy?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You enjoying it?
Well, really haven't had much time to sit on it, but...
Yeah, true. Well, I haven't been making you move around that much.
What?
We haven't been making you move around that much.
I know, it's getting there, but... Yeah.
Next...
I gave him an errand.
Oh, what did you make him do?
My dad.
I was getting
my dad came.
Daddy O'Toole. He's here in the crowd.
No, he left already, but he was here for a moment.
He enjoyed himself that much.
He watched like the last 5 minutes, and he's
Okay.
like, "Who is this Australian guy?"
Yeah, fair enough. I don't blame him. Are you talking about Dexter, right? Okay. So look, we'll get Prof back in a second, and we'll get Twistzz in here ASAP, and I think we'll just start the chit chat.
I can't hear you, Prof. It looks like you're trying to talk.
He's hanging out in the kitchen. He'll come whenever he's ready. But yeah, look, I think. Where was I going to go with this? You know, when my brain, there was something there. You know how that happens?
Yeah,
then
and
it's
it
gone?
just disappears.
Yeah, that was that. We're live. Yeah. We're back on. We're back on. But we want to get Twistzz out here. He's just having a slice of pizza, so we'll have him soon. And we'll get into some questions with him. And maybe we'll see if he wants to hang around, because we have a tier maker that we want to do with the teams who are eliminated, right?
Okay.
And we're going to talk a bit about, what they should do. That's going to come soon. But when we get Twistzz here, we're going to dive into FaZe and their run and everything that's happened with them so far. And maybe get some questions from our audience here. There's a lot of people at home who keep telling me to do this thing like they call it, what's it called? Pot friend? They don't know what pot friend is?
What's a pot friend?
I don't know. Do people in the live Twitch chat know what pot, is it pot friend? Is it?
I know what those two words mean individually.
Yeah, it's like a pot doing one hand is up and one hand is on its, I don't know what it means.
Okay.
Do you know the
They're
song?
all calling me a boomer. I'm going to Google it. We're going to find out what this is.
We'll all be boomers together.
All right, Twistzz is here.
Twistzz, you know what a pot friend is?
Do you know what pot friend is? What? Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so it's not just
Maybe introduce the guest.
Well, we have Twistzz from FaZe Clan here, everybody. So here's the issue that we're going to have this evening. And I was talking to you about this before when you rocked up. You were on time. I'm very more than impressed. And I'm not saying that because it's you. I'm saying that because like a lot of people rock up late to these type of things. You were here ready and raring to go. I love the chain. Is that, do you get one of those every time you win a major?
I think next time it'll be a ring.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, and what after that?
I don't know. They have to prepare more ideas.
What could they do? What else could they get? Do you
Anklet.
Like a crown?
Anklet.
A crown?
Piercing.
A crown would be bad.
Yeah.
A piercing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going
Everyone has
dangerous.
simple
Sure.
a tattoo.
Yeah.
I would do a tattoo.
See, there we go.
Oh.
Yeah. All right.
How many do you have right now?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's not counting.
Lost count.
He's not
I mean, if you count the sleeve as one, then I have 3.
Okay. So, well, we can only see one.
One on my chest
Yeah.
and one on my back.
Well, this is a PG show, I think, other than the swearing. But look, we've got Twistzz here. Now, FaZe. Oh, we had this discussion just the other day. I feel like I'm rehashing my questions for everybody here, right?
Yeah.
But if you want to direct your anger towards HLTV for making you the second best team in the world as per their rankings, props right here.
And he designs the entire algorithm.
It's all him.
I mean,
There's no
ESL
algorithm. I
ranking is
just
the only
pick-
real ranking.
Which ranking?
ESL. ESL's most accurate ranking.
Which ranking?
ESL.
Could you? Striker's not here. We normally have him justify it.
Yeah.
Can you explain it away?
I think it's very obvious.
It's very obvious.
Very obvious.
The only thing that doesn't make sense to me is how they didn't lose so many points for replacing a player.
Oh shit!
That's the thing that doesn't really make sense.
Do we need to call Striker?
They didn't have that many points at the time, so if you're
really,
yeah, I think so. I don't know. I have no idea.
He's talking.
I mean,
honestly though,
I mean, if we made the Lisbon final, we'd still be #1 in the ranking right now.
I mean, not even final, semi-final.
Probably anything.
That was a good burn.
I appreciate it.
No, but this
Fine.
is great for me because so many people think that because you guys dropped out of the #1 spot, nobody listens when we do this show. The bet Everyone was like, Sponge is going to win the bet now. They're not number 1 anymore.
It's done. It's practically done.
Yeah,
now,
there's no way that
you
you
guys
drop out of the top 3.
No.
It's impossible.
In the next month?
No.
Yeah, you've cost me 2,000 euros, all right? So if you guys could have, if you bombed out here, I would have been fine. I would have made money, but now I'm out of pocket, so I'll have to wait. I'll donate.
How do you feel about that? He was essentially betting against you.
It wasn't them. It was all international teams.
It was just against him specifically.
Yeah, I took it personal.
Yeah, there we go. Just like the ranking situation, right? So I don't think you guys needed any more motivation. You guys haven't even dropped a map yet. Things are going too well. Is that a problem?
No, I mean, I think it shows our preparation before this event is paying off. And we obviously play a lot at the event. We have a lot of scrims every day. So it just shows our hard work to get back to the top of our form is showing.
Is it hard to get practice at the moment? I imagine there's a lot of the good teams who are eliminated already have gone on holidays.
We're just playing tier 2 teams right now. They still provide like good practice. Like we're playing Team Finest, which is like the Swedish
with Kriaz and stuff. Yeah.
And then we played Sprout a couple times because they had this Melbourne like qualifier they still had to play.
Yep.
So some of the teams are still grinding. Obviously, if you're a tier 2, tier 3 team, the best thing you probably want to do is shorten your break and play more to make it to the top.
True. Yeah, we've seen teams come out of the break before who have played like a lot in that break and come out and hit the ground running.
Snappy teams.
Yeah, well, I guess they don't have to do that this year, right? They're already, well, maybe, I don't know. I guess that's a conversation to be had in itself.
Maybe they should again, right? Especially because of how the season ended with Cologne and Blast as well. So.
Yeah, it hasn't been the best ending to the season for ENCE. But pivoting back to FaZe, right? So if you guys come here and you win, do you think you guys are like solidifying a reputation that you're like a big event team, right? Like if you win this and then you go on and then say you win the next Pro League season and then you win the next major, and you lose, I don't know, the smaller ones. Does it matter?
I mean, I don't consider ourselves a big event team. I just think we didn't have much time to change our play style or to really play the game at all after the major because we only had 3 days off and then we're traveling across the world again to Dallas, you know. In some ways, it's hindsight, but we set ourselves up for failure, I guess, at Dallas. Maybe it would have been better just to skip the event entirely. But the only reason we went is because of the Grand Slam, the potential to, hit another notch in it.
And you had to stay up on top of those HLTV rankings.
Yeah, that's true. But it doesn't really matter that much. Right? I've seen like I said, ESL rankings only.
Is it more detrimental for them to go to an event and lose or then not go to the event?
No, it doesn't make a difference if they don't go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better to go and finish last, and
you still get something.
It's a 0, right?
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't go, it's a 0 as well.
Okay. It's interesting, right? Because I'm curious. Well, I don't know.
So NAVI doesn't lose points for not attending Roobet Cup, the most prestigious event, or.
But they don't gain points.
You said it. I mean, they're the form points. Maybe that plays like a minor impact, but it's not a big thing, right? So it's kind of the same thing for big teams to not go. It's not very detrimental. But then if someone else wins, then it's
another big team.
It's an issue.
Yeah, because it also depends on like how everyone else is, because it's a kind of a scaled metric on these like 3 categories.
Based off form, like current form, and then
it's more like a power ranking
events like
in a way.
disappear.
Yeah.
So like. We saw like the only reason we were out is because of our bad placement at Lisbon and Pro League went out, you know?
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah, I think it's one of these things, right, where like rankings could be seen as a power ranking, right? Like in terms of the form that you're seeing. Yeah. But the other side of it is as well, like that's why winning tournaments and regularly is quite a big thing, right? So I don't know. I would prefer to have the titles than have the ranking, right? Would you prefer to have the titles or the ranking?
Just to put it into context, like I think the ranking difference in terms of points is like 20 points.
It's only 20 points.
So it's like, they're second, but are they really second?
Sure.
It's like almost the same thing.
But this event should determine that factor, right?
Yeah.
For sure. We're going to send someone out?
I'm looking at the German camp right now. Hallo. Alles gut? Ja?
Do you want to share something with the class?
Yeah. Okay, right. Let's kind of kick this up a notch, right?
I wanted to talk because you said like, oh, amazing run now. I mean, didn't lose a map, but also didn't really play some amazing teams. And even the 0-0 Nation game, super weird. Like, you're dominating, and now it's like 16-13 win. Didn't really seem. I mean, it's convincing, but it's against teams that are not that insane, right? So, are we overhyping you in a way? Is it?
Can I slam him for you?
You could say the same thing about NAVI.
Oh, what we're talking about Navi now, or?
No, but like this is the slam. This is the slam you should hit prof with. We can only play the teams ahead of us. Bang, done.
Wow.
No, but really,
are you doing like media training now?
I'm just saying, what else can they do, right? It's not his fault that Cloud9 shat the bed and were dog shit. Like, if they beat Cloud9, would you say that the run was better from them?
Technically, yes.
Yeah, but Cloud9 was shit. They just showed that, like, you know, we have a little bit of a conversation about them being onliners, and then they play bad, right? They say things in interviews like, there's no pressure, it doesn't matter, it's just another event, and then they lose. What are they doing?
Well, it is just another event. They've been doing that for like a year now.
Well, they're not here. We can bash on them a lot, right? But that's the thing with the FaZe run. It's like they can. This is the way I look at it: is you can only play the teams ahead of you. But you're right. How do we know what form they're in?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the
because
bigger question.
You're kind of selling it as if they're like the best ever.
Well, I just said that they haven't dropped the map, all right?
I could back up Prof a little bit here. I don't want to, but I'm going to.
Thanks.
If you want to have that conversation too, I guess the thing would be like it'd be more about after having the rough tournaments after the major, it would say we haven't yet seen anything that's impressing us enough to overcome some of the doubts that we saw during the downturn of Dallas and of Lisbon.
Okay, I mean
that'd be the only argument. I'm trying to help. Man.
Yeah, thank you. No, I appreciate it. This is amazing.
I mean,
I don't believe that. That's
Prof.
Prof.
Yeah,
devil's advocate.
Besides the first series, I think every other game was pretty smooth, no?
So let me bring it up here so everyone can understand how we're 0-0 Nation, 16-13, 16-10. Then you played against Spirit. You beat them 16-10, 16-13. And then you played against Astralis. And then you beat them 16-13, 16-11. So
double digits everywhere.
But they did, yeah.
I could say it's pretty consistent.
Yeah.
It's not. We're not losing maps to Movistar Riders or MOUZ.
There was definitely some moments. Actually, he's right.
Fact us.
He's right.
Yeah, no,
but there was some moments in some of those games, right? Like the Spirit game, for example. It looked like there was in that series, you guys were losing a lot of low buy rounds, but you're also winning a lot of low buy rounds. Like that was a really weird series. But then if you didn't exist on Nuke, right? You had some huge rounds on Nuke. You guys could have lost Nuke. Like that was a really close game unless you had those rounds that you had.
Well, I can counter this. Of course, he's going to have big rounds because
it's against Spirit.
He's a great player. He's an amazing star player, and they have 3 star players. They're all amazing, right?
But
they're going to always have big rounds.
That's an interesting point in
We
itself.
brought in Twistzz here just to fight among each other, and I like that.
It's an interesting point in itself is nobody in your team is like up the top of the stats, right? Like you have Simple, you have Blame, you have Zywo, you have Elise, you have Axel, Shiro, Hunter, Config. Like none of the FaZe guys so far are up in that conversation. Like it's always been somebody different contributing in the series wins. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing going into the playoffs?
I think it's a good thing. I mean, when you have a strong team foundation and everyone kind of knows their role in the team, then it creates a balanced performance throughout the squad. And I mean, you usually only get the skewed stats when it goes to like 3 maps because it gives more play time. It gives more maps to play.
Okay.
So maybe some of the stats are skewed because you know, there's another opportunity for a player to carry. But when every game is 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, it's like, you know, it's just based off who's playing more consistent.
Who do you think is the best player on FaZe this year?
Ooh.
That's a tough one to ask.
Ooh.
In terms of consistency, I would have
to say
I would have to say Brokey.
Brokey
well,
had a
I think
good
I
start
can't
to the
say
year.
that because I'm out of MVP yet.
But Brokey had a good start to the year, right? Like he had
Yeah.
he had a really strong start to the year, and then Rain obviously with the major MVP. And then since then, it's been a bit more up and down. But right now, you're the highest rated player for the team, but only just over Rain, for example. And that's kind of the conversation point with FaZe going into this. Like the way that it's being outlined for everybody, I guess, wants to see the FaZe versus NAVI game, right? That's what we want as the grand final. Whether we get that or not, who knows? But the way that it is FaZe a team at the moment, and NAVI, right, they're obviously a team as well, but Simple's still top of stats, right? So the conversation is like FaZe have to beat them as a team and overcome Simple. But like you guys have already done that earlier in the year. So it's hard to really place your team because there's so many big names, right? But it's not like a usual star recipe, right?
No.
So it's strange. Like the superstar tag for FaZe almost seems to be gone, right? Do you think we can still call you guys like that type of a team, or do you think it's a different identity now?
I don't think it's superstar. It's just a team, a bunch of stars that are like, you know, once a time the best at their specific roles. But I think for some, I mean, I think Rops is still the best lurker like in the game, you know.
Okay.
And Brokey is an up and coming opera. I'd put him in top 3 opera.
Okay.
So
and
Rain's like still one of the best entry fraggers, and I'm still there, you know. I'm kind of like doing a mix of like everything for the team. So
it feels like you've probably been the one who sacrificed the most in the team. Do you think that's the case? Like in terms of like your positions and roles, like you seem now like you're like I wouldn't say you're a support player, but you're definitely, it feels like you're doing a lot of things to help your teammates all the time. Like it doesn't feel like, you know, that.
I mean, if you go off stats, I have the highest support stats on my team
Yeah.
for the year so far. So, yeah, but I don't think it's really like that. I think it comes with kind of some of the situations that our games end up in, some of the matches that we play. It also depends on our map pool. Like we play Inferno a lot. I'm in Banana. I'm in the most active areas on T side in the entire game. So either I'm gonna get traded there, or I'm gonna get damaged, or you know I'm gonna assist somehow. So I think that's why it ends up being impact rating or support stat. But I don't think I sacrifice so much. I kind of just I move around a lot depending on how people feel, like if they're comfortable or not. Say like last year I was playing, I just wanted to try a bunch of the roles I always wanted to try, so like nuke outside, and like Mirage and connector and stuff. And I moved some of the roles for people that would feel better in those positions. And I think that's fine for me because at the end of the day, it's kind of just putting another mark on my resume of things that I can do in game.
Sure.
And right now I'm finding out I can kind of do whatever as long as I work on it and I practice it. I can do it to the best I can. And yeah, and for me it feels good. I mean, obviously, even when we lose, I still find ways that have impact. Whereas before, as I guess support player, I wouldn't be able to find impact so much. So it's just about developing my own play style, and I'm always trying to work and contribute to my teammates' success too. So finding things that they can do like in game, things that we can do together, and yeah.
Okay, Jason, it looked like you were prepped and ready with a question there.
Yeah, he kind of answered it. I was just going to say the story that we kind of painted a picture when you first joined FaZe was like this, as you said, like you kind of came over and wanted to do all these roles that you weren't able to do in Liquid in your time there. So the conversation that we were kind of painting was, you know, all this more responsibility, all this more focus on you getting these positions. Are you going to be able to like kind of live up to that responsibility? I think that's I mean, you kind of answered it, but is that like a fair conversation when you came over to Liquid that you were kind of going there to be like, I want to be the guy in certain situations. I want to have all like the great spots. I want to have all the high impact spots.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much my goal. It was like when I even talked to karrigan before joining the team, we both knew that I would be in the main star like role.
Yeah.
And I think for the most part, I played pretty good in all the star roles that I got, especially a lot of the CT positions. I think over time, I guess some of the T positions just like didn't really fit for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not such an aggressive player. I'm kind of more of like a in-between player on like T side, and I like to be able to choose like where I go and what part of the map I work.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it is right now. And I have a lot of room to do what I want on T side. And yeah, for CT sides, I mean, clearly, you know, Rain is like the better like outside player. Like that's just how it is, you know. He just has a better mind for the map, and he has really like insane aim, so it works for him. And you know, I didn't think I was a bad CT con player on Mirage. Like in terms of stats, it was my highest rated map. But I know Rob's is insanely good at connector too. Like why would I make him like play short when I don't mind like trying out short and like you know developing a new spot for me to play. That's just how it goes, I think, in a team with such like great players, you know.
Do you guys have much of a feeling that it feels like the community sentiment right now is like NAVI are the best, other than the rankings? Like, do you sense the community sentiment like that? Because it feels like when I'm just doing a test, right? When I'm talking to people or whatever and I'm reading things, it feels like at the moment people think that NAVI are the best team in the world, regardless of the ranking situation. Do you guys sense that? Or is it even something that bothers you? You don't give a fuck?
From the community? No, not really.
Yeah.
Because for us, like we still feel like we're the #1 team. I mean, it's 20 points different, but in terms of like current form, I still believe that we're like the #1 team, you know?
Yeah, but the thing is curious, and maybe the reason that conversation is going is like right now, I don't even know how the two of you are going to match up because it's obviously different from when you played them at the major, right? We all understand the circumstances around that, but it feels different, and it doesn't. In my mind, it doesn't feel like NAVI are heavy favorites. I genuinely don't know. I don't know who's going to win. That's why I want the final to be best of 5.
It's a battle for a #1 spot for the season, and that's how it is, you know. But
that's what we want.
You could look at it in many ways. Like you could say that we've won 3 of the biggest events of the season so far, and this is the 4th big event, you know. So is it like how do people rank it if they win like 1 of the big events and we won 3? You know.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult that people would put them over us in the first season if the final doesn't go our way. But
I think it's mostly just because your guys is like drop off after the major coincided with electronic switching in that in-game leader position, and just right out of the gates in Lisbon just blew up. So I don't know.
So short-term memory in CS
Yeah,
is,
sure.
I mean, also the rankings are not for the 6 months or 7 months that the season is. It's for like mostly the last 3 months. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's kind of not aligned about like the expectations and stuff like this. So it's kind of it's a different thing.
Did you feel like you said you like part of the reason you guys are playing so well right now is the preparation coming into the event, and obviously we've heard karrigan talk a lot about the question of you guys being exhausted and not being able to practice enough, and then playing the Roobet Cup. Was curious until we kind of heard karrigan just be like, look, we went into that event saying we're going to practice a deeper map pool. Didn't play Inferno, worked on your overpass, I believe it was. Do you think that was like the time well spent at the Roobet Cup, just saying we want to get better on some of these maps?
Yeah, I think so. I think it ended up being great. At first, I was skeptical about using kind of a big event to just as practice, because it does affect the ranking, and we could gamble our #1 spot basically just on the Roobet Cup. And yeah, but I think it worked out great. We always knew like what map we wanted to pick. I think it was good that we swayed away from Inferno and tried getting out of our comfort zone in terms of our veto. It's just great for the players too, so we can play like different maps more often instead of always knowing that we're going to play Inferno. I get the look to playing Overpass more, and yeah, I think it really does help develop the map pool, because we know for a fact that no matter how much we play other maps over Inferno, like our Inferno is still going to be like almost flawless in terms of RT side of capability. So yeah, I think it was time well spent for us.
Cool.
What do you think about New Ancient? Because you guys obviously put a bit of time into it in Roobet Cup. We saw some stuff that nobody else was doing. Right now, teams have been doing it at Cologne. Like, is that a map that you guys enjoy? I remember I spoke to Brokey and Rain about it a while ago. Maybe it was even last year, and they were like, we're off the hype train, right? But it seems like it can be a good map for you guys. Is it something that you guys like playing? Do you personally like it?
I personally like Ancient. I think the map is great for CS. I think Valve picked one of the best maps they possibly could to enter the active map pool for competitive. In terms of how it plays out, it has everything. It has like good mid control. It has like areas you have to take before you have to reach a certain site. And some of the other maps like miss that. Like kind of Vertigo is like, I don't know, you take B lobby, and then as a B player, you're kind of just fucked.
Yeah.
I know how that is. I'm not missing Vertigo at all, really. and yeah, I like Ancient. I think for us, it's just about, it doesn't matter if you like the map or not. It's just, people can finally see what we can do when we're actually given time to practice and prep a map. And that's how it is, It's just normal that we just sit in a server and we become complete nerds for basically an entire week, and we try to find as much new stuff as we can, especially when, it may seem like such a small change, but this box not being at window is like it makes a map play so different, because it's like the B players have to coordinate so much more with the mid players in terms of where they can be and like what nades you have to use and cycle out.
That's a good thing, I guess, right? That's what we want.
Do you notice the candles on Ancient were brightened as well?
This is Jason's fun fact of the event.
I just want to know. I don't know why it was in the patch notes. We brightened the candles, we brightened the lanterns, and I just want to know if anyone noticed.
Probably not.
Okay.
But I mean, it depends. You have to find a player in a specific situation. Say
No,
if there's a player,
it's not even a real question. It is entirely stupid.
Yeah, but it actually might make a difference. If a player is sitting in front of the candles, can you see the player better? Okay, but I don't think we found that out yet. Maybe it does work.
There you go. You got something to do tonight. You can go look. You can go check that out.
I'm assuming it was to create better lighting, because sometimes
just go back to karrigan and be like, Moses told me a really interesting thing. Candles are brighter.
Yeah, we can use
maybe
the
some
candles.
of the smokes, seeing through the smokes like a mirage window.
Honestly, like ambient occlusion.
We're going to talk about Bugs again?
Yeah. Well, Bugsy's not here, so that's going to be one of the fun names. You got one of the fun names, Bugsy.
Yeah.
It sounds like, okay.
Is this my water?
You're on the right side.
And you have 2 waters?
Yeah, I prepared myself.
Nice.
He's staying hydrated,
Hydro homies, don't
I wanted to talk about karrigan. Because I spoke to Justin a bit, right? And when I spoke to Justin about like his time, he was like, yeah, it's great. karrigan just told me what to do. Is it still like he's doing a lot of micromanaging the team, or is it like, that was only because Justin was there?
I think that was mainly because Justin was there. I think in a time where we're like pretty exhausted, like after the major, I think he did have to micromanage a bit more, because we noticed our initiative and decision making like went down a lot, just from players like not finding out like new plays or putting more time into the game. And obviously when players' forms kind of drop off, the confidence kind of goes down a bit, and you don't call some of the plays that you usually want to make. And I think it changed our T sides a bit, but now it's more of like a pretty balanced like game, and people say what they want to do. Me and Brokey are pretty vocal on T sides in terms of like how we want to approach the round.
Okay.
And Brokey is micromanaging a lot, and usually I chip in like whenever I feel like there is no like direction. And yeah, I think right now it's pretty balanced, and it could be the reason why some of our. I mean, I think we've had great T sides this event. Besides this like mishap with our T side overpass and our first T side ancient game, but besides that, I think it's been great so far.
Okay.
What about like Rain did an interview about like the hours and preparation and stuff like that. I always love reading comments and people being like, normal jobs, 40 hours a week, so 2 weeks, 80 hours minimum. These guys are paid so much they can't play this, blah blah. Are you okay now in terms of the hours you put going into Cologne? Do you feel like that is enough in terms of preparation and practice and all of that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I can't speak for my entire team, but I mean, obviously I can speak on our practice and how it's gone, and I think our practice has been great, and people are playing at a good level. As for people feeling comfortable, I can't speak for my teammates. Maybe they're playing good, but they're actually not like comfortable, you know? For me, like I put all my effort into pretty much this event because before Lisbon, I got like incredibly sick and I couldn't play for 4 days. I was like in bed and my girlfriend was taking care of me, and that obviously sucks because my team loses 4 days of practice because there's no point of playing without me pretty much. And before Dallas, it was kind of just, you already know the situation. It's like only like 2 to 3 days, and you know, it's either do we practice 3 days instantly after major or do we actually take time off and enjoy the win? And yeah, it's not fun to have to make that decision when you're already locked into an event. But for this event, it's just like we played Roobet Cup the entire time online, and every player like puts in their own hours like after practice, after the matches. As for me, like I think I had like 135 hours in the past 2 weeks in Steam, just pure like grinding CS. Like I was staying up to like 3 or 4 a.m. I literally skipped the gym to play CS. So it's like for me, it's it's just about feeling comfortable and having good prep individually.
Okay. Let's look a little bit more at who your opponents could be, right? We either got Movistar Riders or Liquid on your side of the bracket. Which would you prefer to play?
The classic question.
Well,
the worst question.
The community favorite would be the Liquid matchup.
Would you prefer to play it?
I mean, it would be insane to play my ex-teammates on stage. I think it would be a great game of CS. But I think it'd be cool to see at least one of the underdogs win. So Movistar or MOUZ.
Who do you think's more likely? Like this is what we do. We throw shit at the wall and see what sticks, right? That's our entire job.
That's a really tough question because you think like MOUZ and Astralis are kind of in the same situation as a team.
Yeah.
They're pretty balanced.
Except Astralis is much more experienced.
I guess so, yeah. That's really it.
That's it. That's the only positive they have.
I was looking at some Reddit threads today, and there's a lot of people who actually have Liquid as the underdog in that matchup.
Against Movi.
Against Movistar.
See, this is the thing.
And I got very confused by that.
Maybe Russell can help us with this. The intangible that is being on a crowd in front of people and playing Counter-Strike in that environment, it's hard for the people at home to understand how much different that is. Are you able to kind of help them see the difference? Because for you, it's not a big deal. You've already lifted this trophy. You've won a major. You've done this shit. But Movi and MOUZ haven't. They haven't been on a stage of this caliber before. So do you remember the first time you were on a stage in an environment like this?
Yeah.
So how much did that affect you when you were playing in that environment?
I mean, before the walk-in, I remember I had chills like throughout my body. It was a completely different feeling for me going into a game. Some players handle it differently, and some players take it well, some players take it bad. As for me, I feel like I took it pretty good. I was already a hype person for my team, like going into the game, so it only increased my energy for the team.
What was your first big stage event?
I think New York 2017.
Okay.
Jeez.
So
that's been a minute ago.
Yeah. And I had played pretty good up until the final, but it was FaZe Superstar team.
Yeah, that was the crazy. That was the crazy phase.
They owned everybody at that event.
Yeah.
It was all single-digit wins, right? That was a wild event.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Bleh, how you feeling? No, well, his mic's not on. Hopefully it's not out of batteries. Lucas, where's Bleh's mic?
Maybe
Lucas
send him over there.
It's like the voice of God. I need it now.
He can talk.
Okay, talk, Bleh.
There we go.
You're on. Okay.
Right.
Are you happy for us to open up, Russell, to questions from the audience here for you?
Let's do this.
You willing to risk it? If you're not, we don't have to.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Someone asked a dumb question.
You want to do the card thing, or
if someone asks a dumb question, Bleh's gonna kick him out.
No, Bleh, you can pick.
Sure?
If anybody who has a question for Twistzz?
This young man.
All right, Oh, Jason's picking. There you go.
All right, he was the first one up. I just
You've got to name them. What do they look like? How do they wear them? What shirt do they got on?
Jason.
White shirt. I don't know.
I think
what
it's a
that is.
Vitality shirt.
Yeah, it looks like a Vitality.
All
shirt.
right, Vitality Man. See?
Vitality Man.
Yeah, we give them names.
I'll do good next time.
Yeah, you'll
All
learn.
right. What's your name?
My name's Clemens.
Clemens.
My question is, how do you feel about the 4-day break in
Good
between
question.
group stage and playoffs? Do you feel it kills a lot of momentum for teams like Movistar Riders and MOUZ, and how does it affect you in FaZe or you personally?
Good question. I think some players feel about it differently. They feel like it's too long, and I think you're right. It would kill the momentum for certain teams that are riding a high off group stage. So like Liquid and Movistar Riders, MOUZ. I guess any of the teams in the quarterfinal really, the hype would be killed for them. But at the same time, it kind of builds suspense and it's supposed to create like a storyline, and it gives a lot of time for things to be built in between group stage and playoffs. So
yeah, we got to make all that pretty content.
If it becomes like a regular thing, I think it's just players have to get used to it, and there's breaks in other esports that are longer than this. So, I mean, I personally don't care. It's just more time to play CS in between and watch demos and prepare and stuff. And it's more about just playing individually and playing with your team than to overthink an upcoming matchup. So. For me, I feel fine about it. I think most of my teammates are fine with it too. But I do know for some players it's annoying.
To build on that question, when you have a 4-day or 5-day break, you have 2 opponents. So you have to prepare for both opponents, right? I would imagine that karrigan and the team are preparing for both. But does that affect, knowing that you have such a long lead-in time, does it affect knowing what map you want to pick? Because the mind games, I imagine, would be crazy. If you have 4 days, let's just think about the quarterfinal games. Let's use Astralis versus MOUZ as an example. They have so many days. If you're MOUZ and you know that Astralis is going to pick a certain map, or you know that you wanted to pick a certain map into Astralis and they know what map it's going to be, right? Do you think that changes the outcome of where the Veto wants to go because of all the prep time? Do you think teams would pick differently to try and play more games in the Veto, or not really?
No, not really. Because at the end of the day, if you believe you're the better team, you're just going to pick the map that you want to pick. And if you're better than them, you're going to beat them on it.
Okay.
So.
I feel like most teams outside of FaZe and karrigan aren't really all that frisky with the map pools, though.
Unless you're Cloud9 and you forget to permaban nuke.
Yeah, that's yeah.
That's a fun one.
That's happened.
That happens, yeah.
Yeah, it does happen.
Can
once in a
happen.
blue moon.
All right, let's do another one.
Yeah, all right. Who else got a question?
I think you were first.
G2.
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 Vitality and G2.
Nice.
All right.
Oh.
There we go.
Commiserations.
2 teams we're going to be talking about very shortly here.
Wasn't me.
All right.
All
Look
right.
at this. Look at Bleh go.
As one of the 2 players that's not Danish and won both the Major and the Grand Slam, which one felt better to win?
Oh shit! Get this guy on a desk.
I would have to say the Major for sure, without a doubt. I think it was just such an insane achievement for especially karrigan and Rain, but for all of us, considering we had time to reflect after we won Katowice Pro League and the Major, and Rops was just added to the roster 4 or 5 months ago. So for us that was an insane thought, but individually for me, I think the Major for sure. If you only compared it between the Grand Slam and the Major, but probably the best feeling win for me ever would probably be Katowice.
Okay.
Why?
It was I'd say 3 years since actually lifting a trophy, and to do it in all of the circumstances we were under, replacing 2 players, playing with JKS, and 3-map OT final pretty much. It was insane feeling to win and feel that moment again of lifting a trophy.
Okay. The return to the stadium events in a way. I'm interested now that you've surmised it quite well. You've won the Intel Grand Slam, you've won a Major, right? What else is left that you feel like you have to achieve in your career? Because you're still quite young, right?
Second Grand Slam.
Of course, I mean there's always things. That,
yeah, no,
there's
you can
always
keep
things
adding
I
to
want
it.
to achieve.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything that you say you have to achieve.
Oh, so you have it. But if you were to, let's say, God forbid, but you were to retire tomorrow, right? There's nothing that you think, I wish I had done that, or I wish I'd won that event.
I mean, to be fair, I haven't won many events in North America, so I'd probably want to win more NA events in the future. But for me, it's more of just I mean, if I was forced to retire, some I don't know, publicity stunt happened and I had to retire, I don't think there's anything that I would be mad about besides not having a second Grand Slam. If I had to retire tomorrow, I'd be pissed I don't have a second Grand Slam.
Yeah, because you're going in that direction.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But for me, like, there's nothing I feel like I have to win. It's everything that I want to win. I want the second Cologne. I want the second Katowice, second major. It's stuff like that.
Okay, nice. All right.
All right, one more.
Yeah, let's
All
get another question. You got some
on the side.
right
oh,
here.
there we go. We got a big fan.
So my question is, you're from Canada, and we haven't had a big event in Canada. So which city would you prefer to have a big event, or maybe even a major to host in Canada?
I think a major in Vancouver would be pretty much perfect. I mean, it's neighbor city to Valve's headquarters in Seattle. It's really an hour drive away.
Gabe might come. You never know. We might get him out of the office.
Yeah, maybe.
I know the International was hosted in the Rogers Arena in Vancouver before. I think it would be a great location, but the only thing that would suck, I think, is the time zone.
Yeah, the West Coast time zone.
Yeah, it's West Coast time zone. You can't go any further back than that, really. It would be tough for online viewership, I guess, and you know, the sponsors and stuff always care about the online viewership, so it's not really how the event looks in person, even if it could be a great success. But I think Vancouver would be the best location for it.
It's a nice city. I've been there once upon a time.
Have you?
Once or twice.
I've never been to
Yeah, it's
Vancouver.
nice. It's nice.
All right.
Yeah. Hard to get into Canada. It's like Australia. Like, it's when you go in, you get a lot of questions.
Of all my travels in the world, as an American, Canada was the most I've ever been grilled.
Doesn't surprise
for
me.
whatever reason.
I wonder why that is. You got a friendly relationship with the Canadians. You guys get along, right?
Yeah, for the most part, I think we get along.
Yeah, maybe not the countries, but the people do.
Do we have any more questions for Twistzz? Oh, at the back and on the left. You might have to start climbing again, Bleh.
Oh, all right.
You do this one, and then we'll swap places.
Cool. All right, you first, right? Yeah.
Okay. He's up the back.
So how did winning an event with JKS affect the mentality of a player like Rain, who had to sit out and watch from the sidelines?
I think for Giga Chad Rain, he took it as a challenge, and basically he always like uses all the criticism and everything as hunger. Pretty much has for an entire career, that he just wanted to prove that, you know, a player can't replace him, and that's what he pretty much did instantly after Katowice. He was in great form for every event that we won. So yeah, for him, he takes it as, you know, fuel pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Bleh, come swap with me. I'll roam.
I think we've got another person.
Okay, yeah, fine. I'd want to give you the couch, mate. The throne looks
maybe
comfy.
Some cardio.
Up top, let's do this.
I've already got my 10,000 steps for today. I walked here. All right, who we got, Bleh?
Who we got?
We got a pillar. Oh shit!
There
here
we
we go. We've lost him in the
squeeze it.
Look at this.
In the darkness, he's
squeezing in.
Oh.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, did you find it different playing under karrigan than you had playing under Nitro or any other IGL in your career?
Another good question. Of course, I think it's hard to compare the two really to each other, because when I was under Nick's leadership, he was only a leader for, well, that was his first experience of being a leading, was with me on the team as well. So I got to see and watch him develop as a leader. I think during our period of, you know, constantly being in second place and then, you know, finally taking over the line in 2019, I think he did a tremendous job in terms of being able to adapt on the fly. He always had a lot of mid-round stuff, and that's probably where I think he excelled the most, was mid-round stuff, you know. I don't think his ideas from the start of the round was always the best, but I think he excelled in mid-round situations, especially when he was on point, like as a caller. But I think for karrigan, it's just like so much more well-rounded, you know. He always has insane ideas from the beginning of the round, mid-round, and it's not only that stuff, you know. He has ideas for like two players that take a certain area together. Like he calls something just for them because he thinks it's gonna be the right to read for the moment. And yeah, I think you can definitely tell like karrigan's experience just like pays off. Especially, I got to especially see it like last year in Cologne in 2021, even if it was only a studio event. I think he got into the heads of like pretty much every team that we played in the lower bracket run. And yeah, I mean, I think when you least expect it, I think karrigan always like flourishes as a leader. And I mean, I think he's proven himself and cemented himself even more like as a leader now in the game, especially winning a major, and now he's on the cusp of winning a Grand Slam with us.
Okay. Maybe we do one more, Bleh? Oh, it's off again. Hold up a second.
It'll come back.
Maybe it will. Maybe it's out of batteries.
Lucas. Oh, there we
go. See, we all just say
keeps
his
cutting
name.
me off.
I don't know why he's doing that to you, man. All
Yeah,
right.
Lucas, what the hell?
Let's do, we've got one right here. Here we go.
Cologne has a best-of-5 final, and that's very rare in Counter-Strike. And often especially G2, they lose 3-0. Why does that happen? Why is it so different than Dota, for example? Where Dota, it works. In Counter-Strike, I don't think it works.
Okay.
All right.
There's a lot of good questions.
Thoughts on BO5s,
here. Yeah, best of fives. It depends for every. It's once again a preference. So I feel like for players, I guess whatever the viewers find interesting. Obviously, if it's like I don't know, best of five, and you're the team that's the team that you see playing is just getting like 16-5, 16-4, then 16-3. Probably not fun like BO5 final to watch. You know, it's over so fast. But if you watch an exciting final like HLTV, it kind of makes you like a best of five finals because there's so much action and it just doesn't stop.
If that had gone to 5 maps in Katowice, I would have cried.
Well, you're casting. It's different for you.
It was so exhausting.
Yeah, for the players, it was insane. I was something I've never experienced before, that series that we played. But for me, I think BO5s are exciting. It's like kind of like a true test, you know? You ban your permabans and you play the rest of the 5 maps potentially. And I think that's really how you see like who's really the most drilled team pretty much on every map, who has the best map pool. And I think it makes for a very competitive final. But players feel different about it. They feel like it's too long, it's too much CS. But at the same time, it's kind of just, you know, it's our sport, you know? Like, do you want to make the sport easier or do you want to make it harder?
But is it different for you as a young person versus like the older people on the roster? Like, I feel like playing for
for the boomers,
7-8 hours of CS, like you need to take a nap in between, you know?
I mean, for Finn, Finn was super energetic like the whole time. He was super hyped. He still had like a lot of ideas like going, and after every map he was just super excited and filled with adrenaline. So I think for him it didn't affect him at all. For our coach, I don't think he was really affected at all. Like, we're just smiling and laughing about how insane the final is pretty much so far, and we're always preparing for the next map in between. But yeah, I mean that's just part of the game though, you know? Like if you're getting tired like mid BO5, then like maybe you need to work on that, you know?
Yeah.
There's more to playing than people see really. Like, do you like is your sleep schedule good? Like, we have like late match. When we know it's late match, like I don't go to bed before like 4:30 in the morning because like I know like there's no point in me being awake at like 11 a.m. when I have to play at 7:30. So it's just about, are people professional enough, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. What I want to do is we wanted to jump into talking about some of these teams who got eliminated. Do you want to stay with us to do that? We're gonna.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Lucas, do you have the Tiermaker standing by? Yes, he does.
Boom.
Okay.
All right.
Now. Okay. Now, this is where we get into some fun stuff. All right. So
I do like this.
There's a few of us here, right? So as a collective,
there. I don't know if that helps. I'm just telling Moses there's a preview monitor.
Oh, okay. As the collective we have here, we're going to use your vote as well, right? So there's 4 of us, and as a collective, you can help us vote here of where we should put these teams if we don't agree, all right? If we're split 50-50 or anything like that. So we're going to go through some of these names. So we've kind of looked at teams going into the break and what they might be thinking to do with their rosters. Now, we've already spoken about teams 3 to 10 getting eliminated before getting to the playoffs. We know that Group A is quite stacked, but there's a lot of conversations to be had here. So let's start with the most controversial one out the gate. Let's start with Imperial, right? Everybody loved it at the major, the fact they had that run, right? It's a team that is kind of romanticizing the older generation of CS. But do we think for this team, and I want to put this, right? I want to define these teams by the same context. If these teams want to win trophies, right? We're not talking about just existing. We want to set the highest of bars. We want to say if these teams want to win trophies, what do they have to do? So Imperial, where are we starting?
A lot of more times in the crowd. I'll take this one.
Yeah, okay.
Overhaul.
More time to win trophies with this 5-man lineup.
Overhaul.
Overhaul.
Jason thinks overhaul.
Overhaul, definitely.
Overhaul who?
The whole roster.
Don't make me say names. Jesus. I think this team needs, if they want to go for trophies, more than 2 changes.
So you're talking about, okay.
Which puts me in overhaul.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct. Yeah, but I think here, this is where, for our safety, we leave the conversation. Moving on to our next team. Okay, let's get into another fun one here, which actually could be maybe controversial for some people. ENCE. Prof, I want to throw this one to you. What do you think that ENCE's options are here?
We heard the Dexter to OG rumor, so that was a kind of a forum favorite.
To ENCE?
Dexter to ENCE for Hades. I feel like that is a change that on paper, stat-wise, makes sense, but I think role-wise and playstyle-wise wouldn't be that simple. Like it could work, but it would be difficult to implement in the same roles in the same system and be like, oh, you just chill here a bit, hold these angles, because that's not how Dexter plays. That's why I feel like it could be great,
but it also could be detrimental.
But it could be like absolutely a chaos shit move, right?
Sure.
So I feel like it's give them more time because they're a really young, like individually, these players are really young, have very little experience. So I feel like maybe you want to say, like, oh, Hades needs to be cut, but maybe Hades needs just a bit more time, right?
Sure.
Because he is a player that doesn't really deliver consistently. But even Dika in some of these like big games didn't deliver. In Dallas, maybe?
They had a stand in there.
Yeah, but still, yeah. So I feel like more time for them. What are you saying, Moses? I hear the sigh.
I was going to say change approach. I think part of the strengths that made them so good early on, like the really like explosive, like low buy rounds with Mac 10s and Tech 9s was something I felt that caught a lot of teams off guard in the early stages of their run. And I think it was just a team that kind of got figured out. I think they just didn't have enough kind of behind those sort of things that started to feel gimmicky the deeper they went and the more the team started preparing and actually being heads up going into those matches. I would say change approach, and by that I would mean like add more depth to some of those rounds. Yeah.
I want to throw this one, and I'm not trying to throw under a bus here. This is, and I don't know if this is your sentiment. This is just a sentiment that I've heard. Is some people think that ENCE have peaked. Do you think they peaked, or do you think it is just a young team of inexperienced players who maybe either need a change approach or more time? Where would you put ENCE?
I'd probably say more time, but it also depends on the players. You know, if the players are either kind of done with the project and they want to move on to something else, or if they work on it. Obviously, they have like a lot of good players, and maybe other teams start trying to pick them apart. You know, use them to build their team.
Concept.
So, yeah, I think they could become really good over time, but you have to think about how close they actually were to winning trophies, and then you don't reach that far. You know.
Yeah.
So for them, like probably not winning Dallas was actually could be like, I guess not the end of their team, but could hurt them now. You know, maybe like if they won, then nothing would change for them. But this could be a time where they actually do make changes because they didn't win anything. And yeah, but for me, like I think all they need is like probably more time, and then you know something will come eventually and add more depth to the gameplay.
So maybe a bit of both.
Yeah, this is maybe like a weird thing, especially with you sitting here since you guys did it at Katowice, but it had to have been like a very odd situation for ENCE making the finals in Dallas with a stand-in. Like when you kind of were getting close so many times.
Isn't it?
Yeah, and then you kind of get there. I mean, for you guys a little bit different as you had them shuffling in and out, but I think for ENCE too, like when there's been some struggles and then you make that final with the stand-in, then he goes away and you kind of get a little bit wrecked at a tournament. That's got to be like a head-scratching moment, I think, for the squad.
Yeah, I kind of fall with the more time. And maybe they have peaked, but I would like to see if that's true. Because if they change now, then how are we going to know that's the case, right? Because the team clearly has some inexperienced members who are getting they're all inexperienced at this level, like stage Counter-Strike, right? Like even Snappy, someone who's an older lad, he hasn't had that much experience. So let's whack him in more time. All right, let's jump into pick up point. You want to? Well, Heroic just made a change. So they feel like we have to just put Heroic in. We got Mr. Heroic here. Just need more time. More time. You like the Yabi pickup? Okay, look, that is enough for me. I think everybody could probably agree on that one, right? It just happened. So let's work Heroic in more time. Let's jump into maybe a controversial one here. We got the big fans. We'll get some noise out of them. Big. Now this one, I can't think of what they could possibly do. Who can they even get? You're running out of German players to pick up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what pool they would have to pick from.
Well, let's not forget that they played the event with Quito. So
True.
It wasn't even with FaZe, and I don't know. It seems to be an ongoing trend for Big to not have their full roster when they actually need it. I don't know how it's possible really that someone can always be sick or something goes wrong. Yeah, I guess you just have to be extremely unlucky because I actually thought they were going to win this like Pinnacle LAN up until I think Crimbo got COVID.
Yeah, that's right. Crimbo had to sit that one out, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
I think I would, well, again, I'll put them in like a change approach, but I think the one approach that I would change is like bring Sears into the boot camps.
No, but legitimately, like that's if you're going to start getting somebody a bit more acclimatized in those environments, that's probably the best place to start, right?
They need to go to Dallas, to Frisco, Texas, into the complexity boot camp because they have that crowd noise feature. I
Is
don't
this
know
real?
if you saw this. Yeah, they actually have
they
this.
They can
and
pump
they
crowd
have
noise
like
into the practice
they can
rooms.
have like lights like flashing and stuff like that. and they need to boot camp there.
It's working,
I mean,
obviously.
Very much so.
The quality.
Is it working? I mean,
It's
we haven't seen
scaring.
complexity
The problem
in
is
playoffs,
that-
so we don't know. If
Yeah, but when they make it to the stage, you're going to see all that work.
Yeah, they're just going to roll everyone?
Yeah, it's going to
All
come
right.
rushing right back.
I think the quality of practices in NA is going to be shit, but at least they're going to be.
At least they have crowd.
Yeah.
Even if it's AI crowd, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to put like a projector. Like
If you visualize it, it'll happen.
IEM Dallas crowd.
Okay.
Like, on screen.
I'm happy with big in-change approach. They have to do something to unlock. Well, I don't know. It's not that Sirison plays bad. This is the conversation. He
Yeah, I
plays
know.
good. He just doesn't play like he's online level.
Yeah. He was okay this event, I feel.
Yeah, he was. But
The thing is, it's different because like I don't know, you see like Roobet Cup and he's just like owning and
yeah,
there's highlights like everywhere of him.
Yeah.
You know, just because he's not getting highlights all the time on LAN doesn't mean he's not having impact. I think he had like good opening rate this event and he was still trying to do more for the team. But I think online he's definitely more active as a player. I think he's always like, it's so annoying to play against him online. He's always searching a duel, like somewhere. Like either he's in pushing Hut on like Nuke with AWP, or he's like next round he's pushing Ramp. He's doing something with AWP every time. And I think on LAN, that's just something you don't really see.
Well, we had a conversation about this after the Roobet Cup, and I think I was presenting it that it was bad for them to win Roobet Cup because of the stigma, right? No, but really, like the stigma behind them, it's going to stay with them running in here. And then when they don't perform as they should, even with the keto situation, they had keto during Roobet Cup, though, right?
For half of it, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, it's an odd one with big. Let's leave it at a change approach. Let's get into a fun one. Let's get into Vitality. So, Vitality, obviously, we got our fan over here. We got a couple of fans in the audience. But this is a weird one, right? And I look at this team, and I understand that you've got Zywoo. So you already have one of the best players to touch Counter-Strike. You have Apex, who's transitioned to being an in-game leader, and I have a lot of respect for
Like
Apex
2
in
years
that.
ago.
Yeah, but he's still transitioned. But I respect that, right? And I think he's doing a good job. You have Zonic now as the coach, and then you have Magisk, and you have Dupree, and then you have Masuda. I think that those last three that I mentioned is where the issue is. Not all of them, but something there doesn't quite work. I feel like Dupree and Masuda are both like kind of aggressive, but kind of not aggressive, and I feel like they only need one of them. I don't think they need both Dupree and Masuda. Like, I would put them in one change, because I think that Magisk is starting to show form. I think that I think that Zywoo can always come back to form. It just the team structure. They should set Zywoo up. I don't understand why you wouldn't.
Didn't Zywoo just finish this event with a 1.30 rating?
Yeah, there you go. So it's Zywoo. And then we have Apex, who I think is doing a good job. I think they need a passive player in Vitality. I think they need someone to be an anchor player for them.
Well, it's weird because that's what Masuda is actually supposed to be. I don't think like when you look at their like playstyle, it doesn't seem like he wants to be aggressive. It seems like he's forced to be aggressive by how it seems, because he has to compensate for something. Because you usually look at Apex to be the most aggressive player on the team, actually, because some of the stuff he's doing is
crazy.
That crazy.
Running around with a scout.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he's playing his own game.
Out of the box.
Everyone else has to follow the Vitality playbook, and he has Apex playbook.
Yeah.
That's what he looks at.
That's the in-game leader calls, right?
Yeah.
But what do you think with Vitality? Do you think they need to change something?
Well, it's really hard to say, and I think they're kind of finally seeing the difficulties of how it is to become an international team compared to, you know, the teams and players that have already been on international teams for many years now. So yeah, I think going from a they're both very detailed languages, going from Danish and going from French and having to speak English now, there's probably so many things that you just simply can't communicate. And yeah, I think they're finally seeing like how it really is to become international
Those
team.
comms videos, I don't know, it was Blast, it was like Dallas, whatever.
Yeah.
They're always very uncomfortable to watch. I
Oh,
feel
really?
like they're very uncomfortable
With
to
the
watch.
comms?
Yeah, because like so many people are talking at the same time. Like Magisk is dead, he's communicated from Misuta, he's telling Misuta what to do. Apex is just yelling. It's like, what the fuck is going on here?
That's fucked up, actually. When you're dead, you're never telling a player what to do. Like, you're just sitting there.
And
like,
it's like he's telling him and Misuta is listening, and he's actually winning the round with the input that Magisk is having. It's like, this doesn't feel like this feels like how I play CS with my friends, not like a pro team with a guy that should be winning tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, every team has their own way of like communicating, but I think I remember the videos you're talking about, and
there's an overpass one. There was one round in Inferno that they completely fucked. It was like a 3v3 where it's like Magisk wants to peek, and Zywoo was like, I guess didn't understand because someone is saying something else in the background. It's like Magisk wants to swing, so they double swing someone, but they don't double swing.
I mean,
they swing one by one, die.
I mean, sometimes the comms are just, even in our team, like sometimes it can be confusing for me sometimes, because like an instance in our scrim where it's like I'm asking Finn if he wants drop. And he says, if he wants from us, and he says, no, I'll just take an MP9. What's your first thought when he says that?
Drop him an MP9.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Drop him an MP9, and then he buys MP9 himself. And
Yeah, I thought he was going to buy, but
exactly.
I understand it's very 50-50.
There's just like small things like that that are like confusing to me, and if it's even confusing for me as a native speaker, I can't imagine what it's like to go from 2 different languages, and then you have to speak English now. It's probably just complete chaos.
I hope Strike is watching this. No, like this is the thing.
And planning what to spend €1,000
Yeah, that's
on.
true. He is going to win. But this is the thing. Like I've always been preaching the whole communication thing. But you look at Rain. He's been doing this now since what 2015. Yeah,
he was on the very first international CSGO team.
And Finn's been doing this for a while now as well. He was in MOUZ before that. He was in FaZe. He went and did ENVY. So he's had a lot of different people around him speaking English. You look at Rops, he was on MOUZ, been speaking English for a really long time. So Brokey's the only one who hasn't had that, but at the same time,
only 3 years.
Yeah,
well, his
so
time on FaZe, that's it.
Yeah, but he didn't have any team before that. But still,
Epsilon also international.
And Brokey doesn't look like he talks a lot. So
he does talk
in game. He talks a lot
in game.
Okay,
yes.
so he saves it all for in game.
People don't realize how funny Brokey actually is.
How do we unlock it?
He saves it all for no. I mean, we keep them to ourselves. You know?
Okay, you don't want to share.
He's our personality, not the public's.
All right. Well, we got to peg Vitality here. So what do we think? I think they have to change a player.
I mean, I think you got to do at least one.
Yeah. I mean, it's controversial, but I don't know. I mean, they have to. It's either full French or full Danish. I don't know.
Oh shit!
I don't know. It's gonna take. If they want results now and they feel like communication is an issue, it's hard. It takes so much time. Like they have to dedicate themselves. Like I would put them in more time because over time, maybe in 1 year they actually become like insane. You know, that's just how it is.
What if they split the team into 2 and created a Danish and a French roster and then did the EG project and see which one was better?
Or a better idea, maybe they put both Danish players on the same site and they speak Danish, and then all 3 players on the other side and they just speak French.
I think they even tried that.
Bless my
too,
heart.
Right? Yeah. And sit in different team speaks as well.
Yeah. One's using like in-game chat and the other's like in TeamSpeak.
Yeah, that might work. It's just like all of our pugs at home, I imagine.
I mean, I feel for them because you can see like they're putting in like the work. They're working hard. You know, they're making like videos. They're like constantly practicing. I always see them in their practice room. So it's just like it's sad for them that they put in so much time and
it's not working.
It's just not working.
When you play against them like in practice or officials, do you feel like there's almost like 2 theories of Counter-Strike going on? Can you tell if there's like any kind of a clash between like a more Danish philosophy versus a French philosophy?
Probably not, but at the same time you see it like in interviews and stuff. Like Sonic says how difficult it is to coach an international team, and like I think Majors or Dupree said the difficulties of communication. But when you play against them, it's like I don't know, because they have like very strong individuals. You know, if like Zaiwu and Dupree is playing good, you can't really tell if they're having communication issues or not because you're just getting owned. And yeah, you can't really see it from the outside. I mean, when you watch, it's different from playing than when you're watching. Because when you're watching, you can clearly, it's evident that they're having issues.
Yeah.
I think there's a round against ENCE where, like, it's almost unwinnable round for ENCE, pretty much. They have to, like, somehow plant the bomb with, like, 9 seconds left on lower site. And for some reason, I'm not sure if it was G2 or Vitality, but for some reason, like, 2 players just aren't peeking. Like, just one of them peeked the bomb. There's no way they can win the round. It's for the game. The game went into overtime and they lost. So it's like, it's just things like that, you know. It's like where international teams like have the English experience or just the initiative experience. You know, one player is just gonna take the advantage of the situation, and then like the teams that speak like native language, just like, you know, it's more fluent. And when you're in between, and things just aren't as fluent.
Do you think that teams who are playing in English, right, but it's not the native language, can't play as slow Counter-Strike as like a classic NAVI or an outside? Yeah. Do you think it's harder because of the communication issue to play mega late round Counter-Strike?
I think for new international teams, it would be like almost impossible to play like a flawless late round Counter-Strike and understand like what your role is now when like there's 30 seconds left. Like what are you meant to do? For domestic teams, it's like it's a lot easier for sure. I mean, you can see it still like within Navi how drilled they are like late round, and I mean, to be fair, these international teams, besides like us, you don't really see them go in the later round because there's so much chaos always like in the gameplay, and yeah, but I think it is incredibly difficult for new international teams to play that way.
All right, let's have a vote. Twistzz reckons more time. Jason?
1 change.
Prof?
Almost leading to 2 changes.
Okay,
So, yeah.
well, we're getting very split here.
Yeah, we're gonna need the crowd on this one.
Well, what does the crowd think? Let's go through them. Lucas, put it on overhaul. I want to hear. Do we think overhaul? No. Okay.
We need to like get the.
Yeah, they'll make noise when I get there.
The only thing you can really do is be in between. That's it.
2 changes.
I don't.
2 changes. Okay, 1 change. Change approach. Or more time. Okay, everybody sounds like they want JKS to join Vitality. Sounds good. Let's go 1 change. All right, we got him a team. Good stuff. That means that G2 can't have him. So G2, we'll do them next. We'll knock the controversial ones out of the way immediately here. G2, so this is a rough one because I think a lot of people have 2 names and maybe even the coach, right? We saw that news, which I think was bullshit, but we saw that news the other day about Alexi and Xtrfy, right?
Yeah.
But from what I would understand, it would, unfortunately, because I fucking love Jax, and I've had, every time we have this conversation, someone in the comments like, Sponge is always shitting on Jax. Jax is the only obvious replacement in the team because an in-game leader is hard to get, and
the people that pew are easier to get.
Well, but that's it. But the issue is that people don't realize what Jax brings to the team vibe, right? We've heard about this. Hunters made comments on it before, but we see Jax, right? When you see Jax in the hallway, he's a fun guy, right? Like he's always, you know,
he's always a fun guy. He's just always happy. I don't know how it's possible.
I don't know how it's possible either.
It's just insane.
But that's the thing. He brings that to the team of otherwise a squad that never looks happy. Alexi's not smiling. Nico's not smiling. Hunter's not smiling.
Finnish people don't smile a lot, no?
That's true.
But they're the happiest country in the world. But you don't really see them smile.
Yeah, that's a weird statistic.
Are they?
It is true, yeah. It's a statistic that's out there every year.
And Modesty likes being there, though. You can tell he likes being there. He's the one reassuring the rest of them as the youngest player on the team when shit's going wrong. So what do you do if you're G2? Because I don't know. I really don't know what this team does. Because you have good parts, it's not functioning at the moment. And I don't know how you fix it. Does anybody have any suggestions? Get Hooksy.
Okay,
all right.
is Hooksy the solution to everything now?
He wanted to get Dexter's over here. He's like, yeah, fuck Dexter. I get Hooksy in. Poor Dexter's sitting on the couch. But Hooksy's not a bad shout. It's actually not a bad shout. He's an available in-game leader. You're running out of... but is Alexi the problem?
You've only given him 6 months to really try to figure something out.
Yeah.
And here's the thing is like everyone's trying to replace Jax, but they don't realize that he probably has like no space on the team.
Yeah.
Like in terms of actually being able to like play to what he wants to do. Like he may not even have a say on the team to like how he's approaching the round. And you know, that's kind of just what happens when you have such good players. And Hunter and Nico, it's probably hard to find that voice.
Would you say that they're taking up too much space then?
I think you've seen Nico like giving more space.
Yeah.
It's the only way that his performance can kind of like drop off. Like he's still playing insane, but you see less of the hard carry performances. Yeah. And I think it is because he's trying to make space in the team. But then that space is probably taken by a player like Modesty, which is also like insanely skilled.
Yeah,
so
but
it's
also up and down, right?
Yeah, but I think you see kind of a bit more consistency.
He's very inexperienced as well.
He's very inexperienced. So I mean, this is like actually a team that I would put in like more time because they just
the whole roster.
It's been 6 months and. You know, you've only given Alexi B like 6 months to find an approach, find the right pieces, and you can't really. Who can you even replace Jax with? Because like you're not going to put another player there that can.
Hey man, join my team. You get no decision-making ability. You're
Yeah,
just gonna do whatever you
that's
want.
not what I'm trying to say. That maybe they don't have a say, but you have to understand that you put yourself in a role where
it's the
you
bitch position on the
you do
team.
everything for the other like players.
I talked about this so much. I want to hear Moses' opinion.
On Jax specifically?
No, just like G2.
About G2? I think it comes down to, I think the hard thing about them is, it's like you guys have been saying, like they look like they should have all the pieces necessary and they look like they should have all the things in the right place and it's just not clicking. I think part of it comes down to into the team, is there a difference? You know, when I watch them in interviews, when I do content with them for these events, I still feel like, and they brought it up I think a couple months back, like the difference in philosophy of how Xtrfy and Alexi and Nico all want to approach the game, and they still haven't been able to get on the same page.
That's a problem.
So to a certain extent, if they've lost faith that they can actually get on the same page with Alexi B and Xtrfy, even though they might not be doing anything wrong, you kind of do just have to make a change there just because it's not working. And that's not to point the blame at them in any way. So I think it all depends, I mean, honestly, on how, like, this is one of those teams I think you could say easily, I agree with you to a certain extent, more time, let's give it to them. But you could also say, if they get to a point where they say, hey, Hooksy's the shit, let's bring him in, one change. Like, if there's a person available that you could see being an upgrade over Alexi or Xtrfy, I think you just do it.
Yeah. I think if they want to do changes, it has to be 2 minimum. I don't think you could do one. I think that one is just going to keep the same problems that exist.
Yeah, it could be a crutch.
Yeah.
Well,
You know who the best crutch is in the scene.
I wonder how much gets solved though if
It's
you
from
like, give
Latvia.
Monacy another 3-4 months,
I
right?
don't think it's gonna be available soon, man.
Yeah.
We're talking about Yakinda here.
Yeah. I mean, that's my opinion of the whole thing. It's the whole time. Like, you replace Jax with Yakinda,
But
you could be better, but it's still not going to be, it's not going to be the, number one team in the
And
world.
Yakinda said in the interview, though, that he wants to, he doesn't...
He wants to put himself
He's not
out
joining
there.
that team.
He doesn't want to be a
consider
bitch.
some things.
Yeah, that's it.
G2 likes to play Nuke. Yakinda's never played Nuke in his team history of Counter-Strike.
True.
So it'd be a completely new situation for him, which could be good for G2 because then he doesn't really have to have a say in anything. It's just he plays Jax roles and maybe he's better than Jax at the roles. But Yakinda is a player that probably wants like a lot of space, wants to have a voice in the team. He's even said in an interview he wants to go into an incomplete team and kind of have a good influence on it.
Do you think G2 is a complete team now?
Well, on paper they should.
Let's say he found the most incomplete team out there.
Yeah, and he's doing a great job. I think the thing with Liquid is, right, you could say he's doing some in-game leading, he's the hype man, he's the secondary AWPer, he's the heart of the team. Now, with Liquid, like, it feels like he's already found his home. It's just about making the negotiations with Virtus.pro.
It's just
That's what it feels
ink
like
on
to
the
me.
it's ink on paper.
Yeah, and then that feels already done. I feel like G2, for a team who have so much money and are such a big team in esports, have a very difficult time working out who they could get. Like, would people, like if I said to you right now, if FaZe dropped you for whatever reason, and I said, Jax is going, Twistzz, you want to join G2?
That would be a tough one to make.
But
then
seriously,
maybe
right?
Liquid's also around the corner and I just go back there.
Sure, but they wouldn't be your first option, would they?
G2 or?
G2.
Well, I'm always a player that usually takes my time to evaluate options. So I would wait for other things to come up, and then maybe it would happen.
Okay. If it was the best option of the options that were available.
If I had to.
If it was the best option, would you take the best option?
Yeah, but there you go. See that? He's saying if he had to. So we're twisting his arm to have to be in that, and that's the problem I think G2 have. Who wants to play for him?
Well, they don't have a sports psychologist.
I'm just very loyal to my team, so I can't imagine a world where I'm not on the team and I have to go
all
to
right.
G2.
Fair enough.
But we have to be realistic.
You've been PR trained very well.
I would never betray my team.
All right, well, let's blow him up. I want to put him in overhaul.
Holy shit.
G2.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah,
you're overhauling G2.
Let's do it.
Full French?
I don't know. I don't know. I think at this point, bring back NEXE. Is there any AWPers from the region?
No.
Is there anything else from the region?
You're trying to make a Serbian team?
There's like Rakia.
Rakia's great.
We don't want him to get drunk.
It might help.
I forgot for him.
I mean, Emmy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't
The
know what
coach.
he's doing now.
There
He's
you
coach
go.
now. But he was like decent, no? He was decent.
I think, wasn't he playing?
He was playing on
Coalesce or
Fun
something?
Plus Phoenix.
Yanko can coach.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Kassad.
Why do you want to?
Yanko,
Why do you want to
Kassad,
bring him so
Emmy.
much pain again?
We just need a couple of players. Anyway, let's just leave G2 there. Maybe we'd circle back to him.
Nico IGL offer.
I need you right now, Russell. Everybody, do we still have do we still have our cards?
This skip
Everyone
was
still
so
got
funny.
their playing cards? Okay, wonderful. I need you to pick a card from a standard deck.
From your brain.
Any number, could be king, queen, whatever, and a suit.
Don't pick spades.
Can't be
please,
king of
for the
spades.
love of God.
A suit?
Yeah, like diamonds,
Ace,
hearts.
diamonds,
Oh.
hearts, clubs.
Maybe like hearts.
Hearts?
Hearts 3.
The 3 of hearts.
3 of hearts.
Who is the 3 of hearts? No way. Over here
right
again.
there.
How's this happen? All right.
You've shuffled the bad.
We didn't shuffle. They were randomly handed out. Last time I shuffled bad. All right. Bleh, he gets the choice of the Xtrfy mousepad, the framed artwork from this Cologne, Apex's face on a bag.
That's the best.
Or the NAVI frame. Which one do you want, sir?
I want the Apex face.
Yes!
Finally.
The best pizza merch.
That's invaluable.
Yeah.
I don't think you can.
I think that's the only one of them in the world.
Yeah, because it's recycled materials, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Look at this. Look at Apex.
Good for the planet.
Yeah, we're looking at the planet. It's a backpack. He didn't come with a backpack. He's leaving with a backpack. Thank you very much, Bleh. Wonderful. All right. Now
that Navi frame is.
You want that?
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't bring suitcase to take it home.
Yeah.
All right. We got a couple more teams to get here. Here we go. Complexity.
All right.
The laugh? Someone laughed.
Someone did laugh.
Someone laughing at NACOs?
Definitely at least one change.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least one.
Well, let's put this problem into context. Because if you want to go the route of saying overhaul, who the hell are you going to get?
Yeah.
The North American. Talk to me, Twistzz.
Well, if you do overhaul, then you exit the region.
Exactly.
But they chose to come back from Europe to North
Honestly,
America.
this team was supposed to be better than this.
Yes.
They're supposed to be much better.
There might be
than this.
disappointment of the season.
They can't be like the joke of everything. Like EG is worse, but they don't even play anymore, so they escaped being the joke.
That's still a joke, though.
Yeah, they're still, but you forget about the joke. But then Complexity is the second in line, and they have.
But
that quote. No one wants to be the first to lose to Complexity.
That's a pretty emo quote, man. If you say that as a team, holy shit.
Things are going very well for Grim, I imagine. It went from Liquid, where he was sad, to Complexity, where he's sad. So
where everyone's sad.
Yeah, maybe he needs to change his name. Less Grim. He can't be happy.
No, he can't be happy.
Maybe he could be Joy.
Enjoy.
But
Enjoy.
what do you even do with this team? Because EG have 10 players of North American prospects potentially.
Yeah, now you have to buy out a player from one of EG's 3 teams.
Yeah, so
that's great.
If they have a bio
I think EG hurt the NACS, man.
If they have a bio.
Hopefully those young players negotiated bio clauses.
Yeah.
Very controversial take. I think they need to find a European player.
To be an OPA.
Yeah.
No, maybe Hooksy.
Maybe Hooksy as IGL. And then Deco. They risk a bit on Deco. He got some crazy clips on YouTube. There's an amazing Russian alphabet by Deco.
I did see that. Yeah, I did see that. That was a good one.
Here's a problem as well. Because Complexity at the moment, as much as we want to joke about the team and laugh at their expense, which is always fun, they're a very economical team in the sense that this isn't an expensive squad or lineup, right? And then with all the various deals with the different TOs, they probably actually are profitable as well through rev shares and everything like that. Maui actually made this point. It was a good point. I want to give him a shout out too.
Okay.
He might be able to articulate it a little bit differently. But, you know, if you start going and shopping over for a European player to come in, all of a sudden that's going to be probably a higher salary, especially to move him across the world. And then all of a sudden you kind of lose that advantage as well. Or not advantage, but you lose that factor of the team that is probably at least somewhat breaking even, a little bit profitable. That's bringing a little bit more of the economics of Counter-Strike.
The business side.
Yeah, but I think one change is definitely needed. I think first thing, you need to upgrade the op. I think probably at some point you'll need to either upgrade the in-game leader or the coach to help the in-game leader, and that's where I would want to bring in like a European influence into the team and help them update themselves and get better practice. And I think it's got to be one of those two positions.
Oh, the loss streak. It looks so
It's
bad,
not pretty.
man.
It's a lot of red. It's a lot of red.
It looks
Jesus.
so
Well, the thing is,
bad.
like you say, they're focusing on the economic part of like CS, but the Copenhagen Flames roster was so cheap. So why
wasn't that the roster they were supposed to sign?
Yeah, they were.
That was the roster they're supposed to sign for 350,000. Monacy was 600,000. Whole team for 350,000.
Half
Oh
of
my God, so much red. That is so much red.
I can't believe it. We have Complexity of lost
When was
one,
the last
2,
win?
3.
When was the last win?
IHC on Nuke 16-13.
What
that
date?
was
What was the
RMR.
date?
That was RMR.
Yeah, 9 weeks ago. That was their last
Major,
win.
major qualifier? Major qualifier, right?
Yeah. That is crazy.
And then 2 losses, then 1
The
win,
only
then
other
a
teams
loss.
they've beaten, like either Godsent or Carpe Diem or Sao Katana.
So other NA teams.
Yeah, Team 1. Jeez. Yeah, I think it
wait,
has
that's
to...
like a good. Like, what if it was Brazilian? You could bring a Brazilian to the team. No.
You could. Who would you
One
get?
of the, one of the gods.
Actually,
I mean, Henny is available. Do you think?
Henny ain't joining that team.
I don't know if Henny's English either.
It
Yeah,
should
just
be
on paper.
decent at this
It
point.
should be
right?
okay,
It should be
but-
okay.
So I'd say 2 changes.
2 changes?
Yeah.
Henny and
changes.
Lucas. Get them in.
So you want to...
Okay.
So we want to keep Grim, Floppy, and Fang, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
Okay, so you want an in-game leader and all.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you always should start with the coach.
Well, I guess if JT's going, I imagine TC's going as well, because they're still the South African contingent.
So I guess you just replace both.
Yeah.
So at this point, though,
3 changes then.
And
But we
add-
can put it as 2.
Add some
well, you could
random
probably just
Danish
start
guy
with
as
2.
well.
Yeah.
That's a random Danish guy.
As a coach,
Just
right?
add some, yeah.
Yeah, but but the thing is, like, so if it's economical, think about who they can spend on, right? I think it probably would have been something they could have gotten with Hooksy, but now I don't know. But they probably still should. Who else is out there?
I mean, Hooksy should be cheap, right?
Yeah.
If the whole Flames roster was 350,000, then how much would he be?
Yeah. So yeah,
But would he want to?
that's another thing.
Yeah.
Living in North America, right? Like,
Well, he
it's-
may even have another better offer waiting for him.
True.
So
Could be G2.
Could be too late for
Yeah. Well,
Complexity.
I would blow up Complexity just based off that loss streak I was reading, but I'm happy to go with 2 changes. I think Grim, Floppy, and
What do you mean
Fang.
blow up? Overhaul or?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
But I'll put him in 2 changes. Anyone else got an issue with Complexity and 2 changes?
Speak now, forever hold your peace.
I think we're okay with that. All right, let's whack them there. The rest of them we're starting to get a little bit on. So, for example, 00 Nation, Spirit, Outsiders, I would put all of them in more time, like immediately. I'd put 00 Nation, Spirit, because they're all new rosters, right? They've all had changes. So we can whack those three, bang, bang, bang. Complexity, no. We're gonna talk about them in a second. Outsiders, Lucas, the purple one that's holding the thing, looks like fucking Ghostbusters. Yeah, more time. All right, so...
Cloud9? Did you put C9 in more time?
No, I didn't do C9 yet. But does C9 need a change? I think they need something.
I don't know.
Like the approach thing? Change approach?
Probably approach.
I don't know if I'm. Yeah, maybe approach is a fair one.
How do you do that though?
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. I'm not gonna lie. I hadn't really thought about this coming into this event, but Maui's starting to pull me over to his side of the NAVI having a rough time in game leading this team. But
do you think now because of where they got to?
He's convincing me more and more when I talk to him.
Okay.
I don't know enough to say I would definitely want the change, but there is something terribly wrong when 2 of your players are in like the top 5 performers of an event and you're not making it into the playoffs.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean that's just a straight up fact.
True.
Yeah. I don't know. The thing is,
kick NAVI?
people are joking about Boomich joining.
Let's not joke about these things.
Yeah, but you think about an org like C9, it's like...
True.
They're trying to avoid some drama.
True. Yeah, we don't need any Boomich drama, do we, everybody?
Yeah.
We can stay away from the Boomich drama.
I would say at the moment, dude, put him in change approach. Change
approach
is a fair place.
All right.
Now. But I think there's got to be a ticking. There's got to be a clock.
We put a
this.
timer on it.
Yeah.
Okay. This one here I think is fun. NIP, right? I think everybody here wants to know what device is. I think we're all still asking ourselves that question every day.
Oh God.
Yeah, but let's assume that device is not coming back to NIP, and it's more likely that he joins Astralis, right? I think that if we're going to live in a world, that is probably the world we live in.
That is the more likely outcome.
Yeah, quite honestly, right?
They would be insane with device though.
Yeah.
They would actually be really
NIP?
Really good. Yes.
Yeah.
They would be really good.
I think this is what I want. If I could have my fantasy team with NIP, I would keep Hampus, I would keep Rez, and I would keep Brolin, and then I would make device play. Hopefully he'd want to play. And then I would add Crims. And I think that would be a sick team.
In my mind, that's like the Swedish savior team.
Imagine how good that team would be.
One Dane.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
I think that if they could make that happen, that would probably be the best change they could make. And
that's a pretty cool one, yeah.
I think, Crims and Brolin together in Fnatic were good. I know the end didn't look great, but I think having those, and Hampus and Rez are fantastic. I think that's a lot of firepower in that team. It's a sick team. Can we make it happen?
Dude, in my head, I've never even considered Crims for a roster change out of the Fnatic jersey. I can't even see it occurring. I don't know why.
You almost forget he's like there. It's just like he lives there.
Yeah.
You almost forget that he can...
He's not on social media.
You almost forget he could leave. But you just know that probably...
His contract's got to be almost up, right?
We had.
We don't know how long he signed for.
It was 3 years when he signed with JW.
Yeah, should be.
So it's going to be almost up.
That's a long time ago, no?
Yeah. So it's either
been 3 years, actually.
Yeah. Either it's been renewed or it's up. But if I'm NIP, that's what I'm doing. NIP don't like listening to us, so maybe they won't.
No, they don't.
No.
At least their jerseys are back.
Yeah.
I won't say anything. I was gonna say that. I was gonna say maybe they should have money to do that, but.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. Well, we'll stay away from that one. We already upset them enough here, Russell. So
it's true.
We won't pull you into the mud with us.
Yeah.
It's,
I'm putting myself in.
I think it's like it doesn't matter that Chad shits on them 90% of the time. They have to. They me and Striker are somehow to blame for all of these issues.
I'm nice to the roster. I like the roster.
Yeah.
I like the players.
But some of the people up there in the offices,
we've had some issues with them in the past, haven't we? Had a few.
They like to put their hands.
Yeah.
This one was a little hard for me. I would put NIP at more time.
Really?
I don't know why.
With the context of winning trophies, you would put this NIP roster at more time.
I mean, they just won in Dubai. What are you talking about?
I started to believe at this event. I started to really kind of believe a little bit. I finally got on the NIP train.
They were my outside Dark Horse team. You had Heroic. I had NIP.
Yeah.
I don't know who Striker had. Striker was boring.
My Heroic pick went.
Yeah, and my NIP one was shit as well, right? Yeah. But we were all wrong. None of us would have thought that we had a MOUZ, Movi, like any of that. It's kind of just...
No, I think you have to remember...
Only 2 top 10 teams are left in the event. So.
I think you have to remember with NIP as well, like, they brought Brolin in recently, and then they played, the one event, and then Hampus was on a break for, two events or something like that. So they really haven't had a great amount of time with their roster being activated for a long period of events. So I would have to give them a little bit of a grace period.
Okay.
I'm feeling very forgiving today.
Yeah, you are.
I think he's right.
I agree.
To be fair, they had to
Thanks,
play
Russ.
2 events without Hampus, and it seems like Hampus always has tremendous impact for the team. somehow they even won without him, which is like, I don't know. It just shows that there's actually a lot of talent on the team and that they can make it.
They're like a hangnail.
Somehow they're always like
They're always there.
They're always doing good somehow. Like Hampus has to like go through like, I don't know, like 20 different NIP like variations of every academy player on the team, and then
30 players in this time.
Yeah, and he always makes it work.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
But that's also why he had to take 2 events off. He was just so burnt out. He was like, I can't do this anymore.
As Pimp says, the best IGL in CS right now.
Hampus?
Yeah. Pimp quote.
Okay. You're saving yourself with that one. That's why.
Twitch chat reminded me that Striker picked Liquid. So he's the only one.
He's not here, so...
I guess it was a good choice as well, because Liquid were in the easier group.
If I knew they had 150 hours played,
yeah,
that'd
it's the little details around it, isn't it? Okay, who we got left? Yeah, whack NIP in more time. I'll go along for the ride. I still would like them to get Device and Crims. That'd be sick.
That would be really cool.
FURIA is a problem. Have they? Do you think FURIA reached their cap?
I think they're on. Usually, I don't want to say like if any teams are going to make changes, because I always give the benefit of the doubt, and that maybe the team just works with more time. But I actually think FURIA is a team where they themselves right now is probably looking to make a change.
Okay.
Especially when like it's 2 pretty sad results for them. I mean, Valencia, they should have been a clear favorite to win the event. It's something small, but then you lose. It's less bad if you lose to like Movistar riders at the event, but you get knocked out by 00 Nation, another Brazilian team that just made changes. And it probably makes you start thinking if it's time to let go of this current roster and, add something new to it. Yeah. And it sucks for them because...
That would be kind of overhaul or like a change approach.
I'd say 1 or 2 changes.
If they could get Dumao from 00 Nation, right?
I don't think Dumao would leave. I actually think...
But let's say it should be Wood. That would be the best addition I think they could get. Who else would you get?
Sign?
For 00 Nation. Yeah, but let's...
Well, I'm like, for me, I'm like, they're in 2 categories for me. Like change approach and 1 player.
Okay. Well, we can do that.
Russ has picked one.
Exactly. Yeah, but I like it. He's got conviction behind. You know. Okay, so do you think in the star with Art being super aggressive, they should reel that in a bit?
Yeah, I think they need to start playing more fundamentally sound CS, because I actually think a lot of the players, they have really insane players on the team. Like Yuri and Quesarado are always consistent, always good, always performing for them. But I feel like there's a lot of situations lately where like the team is so aggressive that you don't even see them alive sometimes.
Sure.
They just like die at the beginning of the round, and you don't want either of those players to really die at the beginning of the round, They always need like support and they go find you an opening, and that's kind of how the round is. But lately Art is just like the one like going to die, and it's like it works perfect if he gets 1 kill and dies, then he controls like the troops. But if he dies without anything, you kind of leave your team in a sad situation where they have to, I don't know, you have to have like 70% 45 win stats to make it into playoffs at the event.
Yeah, it's not easy. I like the 1 change, but are you thinking one of the newer additions, like Safe or Drop, or are you thinking like maybe even Art? Because I know that's been a conversation.
Well, here's the thing: who would you get? Yeah, exactly. Who would you get?
I'm sure they have their.
I mean, okay, that would actually like fix probably
a lot of the problems.
Yeah, it fixed many things for them. I mean, it would be a phenomenal change, I think, even though Fallen is getting like up there, and I mean, he even said himself that Imperial is his last team probably, so
it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I'm sure. I would also say I would imagine the Brazilian teams and people in those scenes have a way better idea of that there's other people available.
Yeah, they always find some talent.
There's always a gem down there somewhere.
There's always a player waiting, like this like Bernazan guy that's playing for MIBR.
Yeah,
that
guy's name. Can we just do a public service announcement for everybody at home? Players in the future, if your name is that difficult to pronounce, it means when we're casting, we can't be as nice. It can't be as sick. We can't.
The highlight clips won't be there for you.
So I literally, for the entire time, because I didn't want to constantly be stumbling over my words, I just called him Brenner, which is his name.
He should have changed his name to BRN or something. I don't know.
Has he been at a major yet?
No.
Okay, so he still has time.
Has he?
He's got time.
I don't think he has.
At the major?
No, with him.
9Z beat them to qualify, I think.
No, they were at the major.
They had
they changed
Woody.
after. Woody was there. Zai Wood, as they call him.
Yeah. Okay. I'm happy to put him in the 1 change. All right. We happy with this? Yeah. They're happy with this.
I feel like that G2 overhaul could use a tweaking.
You don't like him there? All right, make
Did we settle on overhaul?
I said overhaul. I wanted
you settled on overhaul.
Yeah, all right.
Maybe like a 2 change.
I don't know if they're ready for an overhaul.
Yeah, the overhaul's 3 changes.
But that's including coach.
Yeah, I know.
But why would you change the coach and the IGL?
Yeah,
if the coach and IGL don't get along, you change one.
Let's leave it up to the crowd. The G2 one. Overhaul?
There's some haters in here, man. Holy.
Bleh, what's the vibe out there?
Tell me about the
feeling
crowd.
pretty negative right now here.
It's very negative.
All right, Lucas, hover over overhaul. Who says overhaul? That's about...
Okay, late risers, late bloomers.
All right, 2 changes.
There we go. Positivity.
2 changes it is.
More positive.
All right, or 1 change.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's one guy in the G2 jersey.
I was the loudest.
It's got to be 2 changes then.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's leave it at 2 changes. Cool. All right, well, that we did as a bit of an experiment here to discuss, and it was great to
I
have...
hope all the Brazilians screenshotted that again.
Whatever, man.
Imperial in the shittiest
Whatever,
category.
man. No, we didn't.
I like how you said that.
I'm
was
the one who said it.
controversial one.
I'll take it.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. All of our faces are there.
That's true.
It's all good. Where are we at here? Well, Striker's not here, so it's all good.
What about Striker?
No, well, the Imperial stuff, right? He read the article. That was why there was the double down.
Where's Roque? I think he just left to get a beer.
Maybe he's outside
We
holding
have
the
a
door.
Brazilian representative here.
We already did this in the last live one. We don't need to do that again.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad we got your input on that, Russell. That's nice to hear that we're not completely crazy. Now, we're getting to the point of the show where we're going to do a playoff bracket prediction. Now, we may as well keep you here, but when we talk about FaZe, it's going to be a little bit awkward. So, you know, we'll
clear bias.
Yeah. So, Lucas at home.
Building a career off bias.
He's not at home. He's in that room.
Hello.
That is now his home.
Lucas,
He will not
can
leave
you
this
bring
room.
up?
No.
Can you bring up? You can't bring anything up.
I can bring up the bracket.
Yeah, bring up the
itself,
bracket.
But sadly, I cannot use the feature. That
That's okay.
everyone
That's
should
all right. Don't worry about
try.
it. The people at home can use the feature.
Okay.
And
Give
we're gonna
me
get this-
30 seconds.
Are we letting our friend go?
He can stay if you. Do you want to stay or do you want to go?
I think he wants to go.
I think I might go.
Yeah,
'cause
you've been
I
here
don't
for a long
wanna-
time.
I shouldn't
No.
sit here and predict
Yeah,
what.
yeah. All right.
You got
cool.
some games to play, some Counter-Strike.
Well, tomorrow he
We
has
need to
watching.
practice.
All right. Thank you, Twistzz, for joining us this evening. Anything you want to say to the fans, to the viewers, to anything before you leave us?
I'm just happy to be here on the show once again.
Cool.
It's a great show, and it's been special to see how HLTV Confirmed has developed from some online COVID podcasts to kind of the only podcast really CS has that's, I guess, worth watching. So
Shit, you
Damn,
just dumped
dude,
on so many people.
Oh.
So many people just get. But look, we'll take it. We'll take the praise. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for the kind
I didn't
words.
say it, so it's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right,
and,
cool.
And once again, the ESL rankings only accurate.
The parting shot.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, thanks, man. Thank you very much. All right. So Lucas has had 30 seconds now. We're getting rid of Twistzz. Bleh, you want to come up?
Yeah, cool.
There we go. We'll bring Blair over. All right.
Thanks for
Thank
coming on, man.
you. Oh, see you later. All right. So, Lucas, can we bring up the bracket? We got Blair. He's here. You can turn off his handheld mic as well. All right. So, we're going to, I guess, talk about this playoff bracket now. And then after that, we might do a bit of chatting with you guys here, and then we're done. So, we still have a couple of things to give away. Prof, you want to pick a card number?
Ooh.
Any number, any suit. Not 3 of hearts.
Queen of Hearts.
Queen of Hearts. Who has the Queen of Hearts?
Just the big guys. Big guys have.
Why is that? What, is this rigged?
Yes,
It
can
feels
someone
rigged.
check this? Did you ever check any of the cards?
What if they brought their own
No.
deck of cards and they're just sifting through it really quickly?
Test.
I think I'm off. Ah, there we are.
You're good.
Thanks,
What's
man.
your choice? Probably the NAVI frame?
Nice call. That thing's beautiful.
That is actually sick.
Absolutely magnificent. You can put it in the Apex bag on the way home.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, this is back on now. I like the handheld better. The handheld's cool, man. You know, I feel more powerful.
Yeah, you can move around. You can do whatever. You're not obstructed.
Okay, let's get into this fun one.
We can actually do the function.
Okay, nice, cool. All right, so let's get through this here.
Doing this together?
Yeah, we can do this together with the people in the audience with us here. So let's start with the MOUZ versus Astralis game. So we already had a discussion with Dexter earlier in the show. We were talking about the experience factor. I would say the Counter-Strike that I've enjoyed more, even though the MOUZ had to do the lower bracket run, and maybe that's why I enjoyed it more, is the story behind MOUZ. I think the story behind MOUZ here is more exciting to me. And I also like the fact that they get to go up against a prolific name that maybe doesn't necessarily have the same firepower as what we would once expect from the team, right? But at the same time, what's the case here? Can anybody on the couch make a case for who they think will win and why?
I think Astralis should take this one, right? Like,
Okay.
for MOUZ, look, the really cool thing is that catalyst moment happened, right? Like, I don't know if it was the first win they had in the lower bracket, was it the map they took off NAVI in a comeback fashion. So that's great for them. It looks like this is a team where we can start to believe. But then again, on the arena, on a stage, and it's a bit of a cliche, but now we're going up with someone like, on the Astralis side, where sure, they've been looking rough. Farley's been looking rough. When it comes down to it playing on a stage, there's small little details of how it is to play in a big arena like that. I think that's going to be the difference maker. Even Dexter doesn't even have that. Like, even he doesn't have the big arena experience. So.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of overestimate someone like Bleh in that regard because he came up during the COVID era and was one of the best players in the world 2 years in a row. Whatever people think about him, like, he is super consistent and amazing. And how much experience does he have playing on the big stages? Not that much, but
just Copenhagen, really, Pinnacle Cup.
It's Glaive, it's Xipnix, right? So with that in mind, like, they should have that edge.
Sure.
Like a big edge in that regard.
I do feel that it is a little worrying that Frolics's been having a very rough tournament thus far. And being on its stage, sure, you might have experience of a Glaive and a Xipnix right next to you, but you individually, if his form dips even further, because I feel like someone like Twistzz, if he just embraces the stage like Spirit did in the major, things can get very interesting.
I feel like he could do that. Like, I feel like he is, maybe he's not Dexter, but he has that kind of a vibe about him that he doesn't really get affected by stuff. So that is a good thing. And you have to think about Config. Like, Config is a player who is very up and down, and now we have like a 4-day break. How is he going to turn up in the playoffs? Is it going to be the group stage guy, or is it going to be the guy that we saw like in 3 events before that was like a liability for the team, really?
This sounds stupid, but we've been around the teams, and Astralis looks like they don't hate each other. Like,
that's always a good first step.
No,
too.
but it looks like they're having fun, right? And like, up until this point, when they've been playing, it feels like they've been under a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, and doesn't think that things are going well. It feels like at this event they've gone, well, fuck it. Like, let's have some fun. They're laughing. Like, the vibe is good within the team. At least when I've been doing the vibe check around. So I think that is directly correlates to, I would say, Config's performance.
I can also flip that a little bit, because usually the only time we see teams with that kind of a vibe after so long of struggles is when they know they're making a change.
But, okay, that's fair.
Device coming in for Farley? Is that what you're saying?
Unconfirmed.
HLTV
unconfirmed.
But that's a real prospect, right? That's a real idea.
No, it's a real possibility. And he even alluded to it. And he's probably, he's got a good mindset, that whatever he said in that interview, where he's just like, what can I do? If your device comes back, like, there's nothing I can do about that. So, I mean, he's got a good point. Like, what can you actually do? One of the greatest players of all time.
But I suppose that doesn't matter here.
No, not here. I think this game is actually relatively 50-50 for me. I actually don't even know which way to put it.
Well, I have MOUZ. I feel like you have MOUZ.
I want to pick MOUZ, but I don't have a lot of confidence in saying I want MOUZ. But here's the thing. I think this style that MOUZ plays, where they've been grouping up a lot, you better hope if you're Astralis, one, you need those individual performances out of Xipnix and Config that we've had in the group stage, because you're going to need to have a high skill value to take down multiple targets blowing up onto a bomb site. Or you need to be able to tactically outposition them on the map, like pushing somewhere else, finding information, being able to cheat or rotate over. And we haven't seen the synergy for that from Astralis, I feel like, in a while. So I think it's going to, I mean, it kind of just does come to, again, are Config and Xipnix going to play the way they played the group stage, like Prof said? Or Bleh said, I can't remember. It was
Doesn't matter.
It was like 30 seconds ago.
Credit everybody.
So it's, or then the other battle is obviously the experience of MOUZ, which is just such a coin toss.
Okay. So,
but my heart wants to pick MOUZ.
You got to pick someone.
My brain is saying
50-50 here.
That's so hard.
Are we already went with Astralis. Are we swaying you?
A bit, but I'm still gonna stick with Astralis.
Okay.
I want to pick MOUZ. I like the underdog story, but it's a full arena as well. It's not like you just have to crowd showing up.
Yeah.
I think I'm taking Astralis.
Okay.
Well, you changed.
He
All right,
Let's
we don't need you guys
So
for this one.
Astralis.
But I would still like to know
Let's do it.
Who thinks MOUZ are going to win?
We've got a few fans now. That's
yeah,
great.
they changed throughout the show. Who
Good job,
thinks
everybody.
Astralis are going to win? All right, we'll put Astralis. I think we have to put Astralis there. That's without a doubt. So Lucas, update the little bracket right here, mate. Hit the right. Yep, the other red logo. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Movistar versus Liquid. Now,
Liquid 2-0.
I'm with you. Like, I don't know about this Movi. Look, I like what we've seen with Movi, but I don't know about the fantasy.
Look, Tabson said that people should cheer for them, so the whole arena is going to be on their side. So it's going to be Valencia times 150.
Is that the difference maker, you think?
I mean, it is definitely a part of it. I feel like, I mean, it's one of these...
Yeah, you're actually right.
It's one of these storylines where, you know, things need to start rolling for you at one point.
The crowd helps.
Yeah, and then the crowd helps, and it's like, oh, let's go. Then you win a couple of games, and now you're in the playoffs here. But it's still Liquid on the other side. Like, they've been actually a good team.
Yeah, I think the map pool's an interesting one, right? Because Ancient and Vertigo will both be in the map pool available, and I'm pretty sure Movi don't play Dust 2, right? I don't remember seeing.
I'm not sure what they're. Yeah,
I think so.
I don't think they play Dust 2.
I think they play Dust 2.
Did they?
I could be wrong.
Anyway,
yeah.
We just look like idiots on television.
That's fine.
But I think the map pool lineup there is curious. I just don't know how I feel about them on stage. Whereas Liquid is the same argument we just made for Astralis.
Yeah, it's like they're like the same match on different sides of the bracket.
Yeah, so but I'm more excited about Liquid than I am for Astralis. So I would be picking Liquid.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty a no-brainer. Also, I feel like, again, you know, with new team coming in, they're kind of the big underdogs. Everyone's like, yeah, they're not going to be able to replicate what they did in Valencia. So maybe some of the teams they beat didn't study them as in depth. And I know for a fact that Liquid have been just grinding out 12-hour days demos.
I also feel like
everyone.
Liquid has a more consistent just a way of winning, with Elige being now super consistent with a change up, OC, and all these things compared to like a config for Astralis.
Elige is what, the third rated player at the event?
Yeah, something like that.
That's mental.
And Yakindar is like the 4th best player on the team.
But this is the thing, right? Like the one of these underdog teams is probably going to continue the fairy tale.
No.
Or not.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't believe in fairy tales?
I believe in fairy tales. I think they're
I believe more in MOUZ.
What's your favorite fairy tale?
I've always been partial. Does Aladdin count as a fairy tale?
I don't know. It's a tale.
Cinderella's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The uncensored original version of Aladdin's pretty messed up.
Oh, here we go. Now we're really getting into the nitty gritty.
Stay after the show for that.
What a comment that is.
Yeah, we'll be airing that after. It'll be all right. Let's do this then. Let's get their opinion. Right. Let's see where the community standpoint is at. Who thinks Liquid's going to win over Movi?
Not the big crowd. Not the big crowd.
Oh, well, okay. Who thinks that Movi's going to win?
Here it comes.
There we go.
It's literally 5 guys.
These
but
guys
are very loud, though.
They're 5 but loud guys.
5 guys.
Probably it must be closed by now.
Oh, no. Yeah. Probably.
Okay. Well, this is the thing. Do we run with them, or do we? I think all of us think Liquid.
I think it's Liquid, man.
Yeah.
Listen, they're on the sinking ship. Let's not get on the sinking ship.
True.
Yeah.
Well, they can't support their team because their team got eliminated.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it shows you know, putting their faith in the wrong teams.
Yeah, all right. Look, I think we put Liquid.
Yeah.
It's a more exciting semi-final matchup.
We don't even have to talk about the semis, though.
Well, we all think that it's probably Navi versus FaZe Grand Final.
Of course.
But there's one.
There's a hiccup
Jason Moses O'Toole. Make your case.
Okay.
Do it.
No, I think the Liquid phase has potential for an upset in it. I've even during like phases.
Now the Twistzz left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
well,
brave.
I think he'd understand too. I think there's an element of this phase team that I think I never fully kind of got full confidence that they were able to make like these ultra clean runs. I know this run through Cologne is obviously great. They won those massive events, and don't take anything away from any of that. But they had a lot of close games during that stretch as well. They had a lot of comebacks in those series and those events as well that I think they kind of struggled through. And Liquid, I don't think is going to be afraid in any way of FaZe as a team. And all you need is probably like one map where Elige is the 3rd best player, or OC goes absolutely ham and wins a couple like big clutches. He's the clutchest player at the event as well, by the way. 9 clutches for him. And I think all you need is like one really good performance from an individual to steal a map for no good reason, and then all of a sudden you've got yourself in a situation where you can just play one really good map, and then you have the series. So I think there's an element of it. I wouldn't make this as dominant of a FaZe victory as most people would like to think it is, especially because I think Liquid probably is going to have a tough time, I think, playing against the Navi style. I think the FaZe style they're going to be very, very comfortable with. I think it's much more in their wheelhouse, much more in their experience that they've had to play against for years and years. So I think there's an element there, too, where it's not as far-fetched as you might think it is.
I'm with it. Like I don't think they're going to win. But I think that it's a more competitive. It's a more competitive semi-final than what probably people are giving it on paper now, and I like the storyline of it too. But I still think it's going to be FaZe versus Navi Grand Final. Yeah.
It's going to be way more entertaining semifinals than whoever Navi just curb storm with that other one. You know?
That's what it feels like, right? But I think this is our grand final. But at the same time, this is where nobody will be able to predict this with any certainty. Nobody, and if you have a good reason, I would love to hear it.
Let's give it a shot though.
Okay.
I just meant the map.
Where do we start? Vertigo goes. Okay. So this is the thing. FaZe can float it because they played Vertigo. So let's theory craft the best of 5 veto. So if FaZe don't ban it, Navi have to, which means that FaZe get a free ban. So what would FaZe get rid of?
Who's going to blink first?
Well, I don't know if you only get one ban, right? So no one's going to blink. FaZe is just going to go, you don't play the map. That's it. So
fair.
So Navi have two choices. They can either do the craziest thing in Navi history, which is leave Vertigo in a best of 5.
They're not going to do that.
They're not.
Not against FaZe. Not against karrigan.
I would love it though.
I would love it too.
They're not
Cloud9.
They're
They won't do it.
They're not a crazy team in that regard.
I hope they end up doing it. I hope this whole week they've just been practicing Vertigo. But then what do you ban if you're FaZe in that situation? What are you removing? What do you think? Because we heard Russ here saying that they're happy with their Inferno, then Nuke, right?
Their Nuke's really fucking solid.
Exactly.
I think you would take out.
Do you take out Ancient?
I was gonna say Overpass just because that's the map that FaZe said they like kind of used Roobet to work on, right? And if you're trying to work on it at that event, you better be damn confident to like be like
something like Dust2 and Mirage. Where do these teams stand on that?
Yeah,
I feel like that's like a.
I feel FaZe are pretty comfy on Dust2.
Maybe Dust2 out. No, I mean no.
This is a hard one though, even
It's
predicting
very
the veto.
Yeah.
Right? And I think the thing is, like, what if Navi gets a ban? Like, I feel like FaZe would call the bluff on Vertigo. That's the thing that karrigan would do.
Oh, sure, he would love
like,
that.
I know we said they're
love
not
that.
crazy, but I'm just trying to live in a world if we were, and I think they'd pull it out early in the series. Because didn't that happen? Didn't FaZe float it against ENCE? And then FaZe yeah. So they've already done that craziness before, and I think FaZe would probably apply the situation in a similar way.
But that's like the charm of the karrigan style, right?
Yeah.
They did that one time. Didn't really make a difference, I feel like, overall in the series. But now, because of that, Navi need to be careful of it, right?
I agree.
And that's the long
maybe
run.
did it just like leading up to this. Yeah.
Maybe.
Months ago, he's like, we're just going to play Vertigo, might lose. But it's going to be in Navi's head now.
Yeah.
I think Navi is going to win this final. I think it's going to be 3-1 over FaZe. But if it gets to 5 maps, I think FaZe wins.
Okay.
Why is that?
I think karrigan as an in-game leader has just shown, obviously, well, Russ spoke about his experience, which is obviously huge, especially in big stage matches, but I think karrigan, more than any other in-game leader that we've ever seen, shows an ability to like improvise on the fly, change game plans on the fly, find a solution on the fly. He's someone who will be very, very comfortable, like, because as you get deeper into the best of 5, right, like there's no way to prepare for 5 maps to the depth that Navi usually does. Like they have their notes and that's all well and good.
How thick is it going to be this time?
But I think karrigan, more than any other in-game leader, and especially when you consider Electronic as a new in-game leader, this is going to be the longest series that he's ever actually in-game led if it goes to 5 maps. I think he's probably going to be exhausted at the task of being an in-game leader for 4 or 5 maps into a series. And I think all the advantages kind of slide over towards FaZe and slide over towards karrigan. So really this match, I mean, I know it's going to be billed as like simple against like the 3 stars of FaZe of, you know, whatever, Rops, Twistzz, Brokey. But I think on one like really like underrated level, this is going to be a battle of in-game leaders. The most experienced in-game leader we have and like a cool looking in-game leader, but probably the most inexperienced in-game leader.
He can make a name for himself though as an in-game leader for the future if
that'd
they
be hot.
right?
That'd be super sexy.
You know. But obviously, a lot of people were crediting Blade for Boomich, right? But like, even if Electronic comes out and frags high and makes some good calls, like that's going to look sick for him.
Bro, I want anyone from Navi to come out and tell us what Boomich did as an in-game leader, because he got away without any kind of like real introspection into what he provided that team as an in-game leader, because he's overshadowed by every other name on the team, even overshadowed by the coach. And I'm not saying he didn't do anything, I'm not saying he was a bad in-game leader. And I just want to know like what the players are like. This is the impact Boomich had as an in-game leader. Like, is it great mid rounds? Is it great defaults? Is it great preparation? Is it literally just we just needed a warm body at the seat? You know, whatever it might have been. I just want to know.
No, but that's the thing. They don't usually talk bad about him, right? But it would be nice to get like they can talk positively about him in this sense, right? That's a good point. They could definitely frame it that way. But maybe we'll get him in a bit more of a casual chat, and they might be willing to talk about that. But I think this series, what do you guys think? Do you think Navi's going to win? Okay, who thinks FaZe is going to win?
Ooh,
I didn't expect that response.
That's a spicy meatball.
That was interesting.
What do you think, Bleh? If you had to pick.
Oh, this is a hard one. It's so 50-50 for me, but at the same time, just based on the fact that for FaZe to pull off Kato, the Major, Pro League, and Cologne in one season,
it's a pretty good run.
It's unprecedented, almost, right? I think the last time it happened was when Kato or Cologne were majors, right? So this is like even more
Yeah.
top tier event. So for that to happen, it's going to be so rare. It'd be such an insane storyline. So just based on that, I just feel like Navi might have the edge.
Simple Electronic also chasing 3 Cologne trophies.
There we go.
There's motivation for both teams here, right? Like very
Yeah.
clear. Like FaZe is to let everybody know, hey, the wobbles we had post major didn't mean fuck all, right? And we're the best team in the world.
Yeah, we're here.
Same with the ranking thing. Like
I'm going to go with FaZe.
Go with FaZe?
Yeah, but mainly because the IGL discussion, I think there's a real, there's some real thing to work with that over there. And the thing for Navi is when they're going to be pushed on that stage, and they are going to be pushed by FaZe, that's when I could potentially see cracks come out when it comes to calling. Because Blade's not going to be able to call. You know, when you imagine it goes to map number 5, Ancient, for example, which is a very likely map number 5 if that doesn't get banned out, and shit's tight, you're running out of timeouts or whatnot. Is that when Electronic's going to really shine or not? We don't know yet, but we know karrigan can, like you said. So
I don't want to decide a series on Ancient. Don't make it the 5th map.
Just trying to make him happy.
Yeah, that's true. I do like Ancient.
Yeah, but not as a closer, surely.
I don't know,
Have
man.
some
As
say.
long
But
as
who's
it's
going to
good
pick it? Who's
Counter-Strike.
going to pick it? Think about it.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't want it as a 5th map.
You want Inferno?
Maybe we don't
Yeah.
even go through.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a quick 3-0. You know, we've had a bunch of those.
Or maybe Mirage is an ender. I like a good Mirage.
Yeah. Prof, who you got?
I'm leaning towards FaZe as well.
Okay. So FaZe, and FaZe if it goes 5, but Navi otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not picking.
What the?
What?
I don't know.
Oh, give us one.
Just try. It's hard.
If you put a gun to my head, I'd say Navi.
Okay.
Okay. There we go.
But don't put a gun to my head.
No,
please. Please. Okay, so that's the bracket, right? We don't have to come up with an overall. I think this is the thing. I'm just excited about all the storylines here. I kind of feel like, and this is not meant to besmirch the other 4 teams. It feels like a main card, Navi taking FaZe, and the others are undercard. Yeah, exactly.
If we had a best of 3 show match between 2022 Liquid, 2022 Astralis, who wins that?
Liquid,
yeah.
Yeah, but I would like that. Could we make that happen? Even a best of 1?
Probably not. It's going to be a long day.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Well, we'll see. Maybe in the future
Another time.
we get
Yeah,
them.
down the road.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're currently at almost 11 o'clock at night right now. Do we want to do a quick Q&A or do we want to shut it down? What do you guys want to do? Do people have questions or do you had enough of us?
There are 2 things left over there.
Where? Oh, yeah. I wanted to give away some more shit. There should be 2 Joker cards. 1, 2. Shit, we have 3 Joker cards. Fuck.
Rock, paper, scissors.
4 Joker cards.
Oh,
God
no.
damn it.
What kind of
All
a
right.
deck have you run?
I don't know what's happened here. Yeah, that we might have to do that, but then we have it. Oh wait, hold up. It's easier.
Flip a coin.
Who's got a coin?
I got a credit card.
Wow, I'm not
Flip
going to
a credit
flip
card.
that.
I have one in my bag.
Wait, I think I have one.
Oh, here we go. See, you're not getting this back.
Damn it. Oh, wait.
You keep coins in your wallet? What kind of a barbarian are you?
In his back pocket too, just like sitting on pain.
Oh, what? Never mind. Not there.
No one has a coin.
See? No coin.
No one uses cash these days.
Imagine using a
Oasis,
coin.
Oasis
All right, hold on.
shirt.
we're getting
Coin
up.
here?
Lucas, I
Oasis
need you to turn on my mic. The hand.
There you go. Go for a walk.
Hello. All right, we're on.
That's not so much.
Oasis guy has a coin.
Which? You've got a coin. With 1 coin right here. All right, this is impartial.
Yeah, we got.
You can have
We're
it back. It's all good. €2. Oh, so 1 here, and where's the other Joker? 1 here. So it's you versus you for the first
so
battle.
many coins
All right.
We got another coin as well.
We're not going to do heads versus tails because I don't know. European coins don't really have a head or a tail.
What are you talking about?
We're gonna. Well, they got a fucking eagle on one side and some numbers on the other. All right, you're the numbers. You're the eagle. Now, the way that I flip the coin, I want this everybody to understand. I've tossed a lot of coins in my time. So you go up, to the land of my hand, it's going to back of my hand. All right, everyone here, you're all witness. What were you? Bang. You were numbers. He was eagle. You were numbers. Here we go. Eagle.
The eagle's a beautiful creature.
Hey, I don't even know if it is an eagle. It's just a fucking bird. All right, let me bring the items, the goodies.
Dude.
All right. You get the choice. Do you want the mouse pad or do you want the frame? You want the frame? All right, there you go, man. All right, we had 2 more jokers, right? We had one over here. You forfeit. All right, well, that's a quick win.
Nice.
All right, there you go, Matt. That was easy. Oh, you don't need one? Yeah, no, fair enough. What mouse pad? Okay, yeah, we won't say that. We're sponsored by Xtrfy. There you go, man. Yeah? All right. Okay. Well, do we have any questions before we pack this thing up? Are there any hands that want to ask? Anybody here? Any questions? We got a couple at the back here. I'll make my way. Who are coming? We're Roman. We're on the way. Everyone else is quiet. Boys, you want to do some filling while I'm walking or just sit there like a bunch of fucking mugs?
Well, you're talking the whole way.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
You're doing a great
Fair
job,
enough.
Chad. Good job, Chad.
I'm
Good
coming to
job.
Max. Max, I see you wearing your New Jersey. What's going on?
It's a question I already asked on Twitter, so if you've seen it, okay. Even if Astralis make it to the semifinals here, as you would have predicted, do you still think they should make some changes to their roster?
Yes.
Yes.
What changes?
Device. Bring him back. Bring him back. You
if-
bring Device back for Farlick. You drop Zipix, and you get one of the Copenhagen Flames boys. Probably not.
Or Valde.
Yeah.
I would rather go with like Valde's maybe not bad. I would go with Roy. Roy's a nice shout, I think.
Roy's in fucking Fnatic.
That's right. He is now. isn't he?
Zyphon. I'm a Zyphon fan.
Zyphon, okay.
Yeah, he can work.
Sure.
Okay, Max, you had some good opinions, but what do you think?
I think that Farlick is a good player. I don't think they can get Device. I mean, I'll say it like that. It's very... I would say the NIP organization would be very... Maybe not stupid, but...
Difficult to deal with.
It would be very difficult to get him. So if they can't get him, I agree that players from Copenhagen Flames could replace Zipix, although he has played better in recent months.
Yeah.
So the problem is there's no players for Astralis to pick because they were late to the party again. All right, who else had their hand up? This gentleman right here. Hello, sir.
Hi, I've got a question for you and for Jason, and that is, which map do you like the most to cast, and which map would you remove if you could pick one from a casting point of view?
Purely based on casting?
You go first, Jason.
Remove. I would actually remove Vertigo from a casting
Fuck you,
perspective.
man.
Yeah, I know.
No, I agree.
I know how to push your buttons. I think the problem with Vertigo is casting. It's gotten a little bit better. It's getting a little bit more fun, but I still think like a lot of those battles at A ramp and the A that are just like spamming through smokes. It's just real grimy and dirty, and I'm not a huge fan of it. It's gotten better.
You're a Mirage fan, I'm sure.
I do enjoy a bit of Mirage. From a casting perspective, man, Inferno can be really awesome, or it can be really tough.
Mm.
I enjoy Nuke. Nuke is a really fun map to cast.
I would be the same. I would say I really enjoyed Nuke because it's played by a lot of good teams at a high level.
Yeah.
And it's also good for a color commentator because you get lots of moments to discuss what's happening.
And the verticality of the map makes it really cool when
It's
teams
always
move
about
around.
the verticality.
Yeah.
You love to mention the verticality.
Yeah, I do actually. That's a good word.
But my least favorite map to commentate is Mirage, and that's just because
No one ever played it as well as you did.
No, it's because the issue I have is it's the nuance and the detail at which I need to have an understanding of for what the pro teams are doing to separate themselves.
Yeah.
I don't have it because the map is the most discovered out of all the maps. Yeah. So the level of detail, if you're a pugger and you only play Mirage, then you maybe know some of those details, right? But Mirage for me is just so played out that the nuance for it is in moments of the game that it's not interesting to me. Like I don't find it interesting, but it can be an exciting map. So it's like hard for me to say that. Whereas like you don't like Vertigo, but I like Vertigo because the nuances of Vertigo, like I play a lot of Vertigo. So for me, I have a better understanding of it, right? So maybe I just need to play more Mirage. But the issue is when I play Mirage,
you can play it all against the Pugstars.
I just get fisted,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
nobody wants that. Okay, do we have any more questions?
Well, not ever. No.
Oh, we got plenty of questions. Mr. Astralis here in the front row.
If you could cast any final in CS history, which one would it be?
Ooh. I like the Fnatic versus FaZe final, the best of 5 in Katowice.
Yeah.
The Cloud9 versus FaZe final would be another one.
I think the Liquid Fnatic final in Sydney that started their Grand Slam run was pretty banging.
Yeah.
Well, that was good.
Yeah, that was really nice.
I don't know, it's a hard question.
That is a really hard question, actually.
Because there's obviously been a lot of like really exciting finals in the past. It's just hard to pick one.
What's funny about that question too is if you even go back to like the earlier, like older days of CS, like the finals weren't even like really the fun games. Like as a commentator,
Yeah.
you always want to cast the final for the prestige. But like if you go back to like 2016, if you ever went back on HLTV and looked at like some of the majors and some of the biggest events of that year, the finals all sucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
The semifinals were incredible, but the finals were awful.
Yeah, I think like there's certain matches, maybe that aren't grand finals, that you could even put in that category that would be, like, for example, when Harry and Hugo did FaZe versus Spirit at the Major, that was the best game of the Major. That was the best game of the Major we just had.
Yeah.
And it's like, that wasn't a grand final, right? So, yeah, it's a good question, but one maybe we need to think about a bit more. Any other questions? We had one right here from Mr. Forfeit, the kind gentleman.
I think it's 2 questions.
Maybe. I just wanted to ask you, how to save NACS? Like, what is going on with EG, the 15-man roster, the drama about...
Can we veto a question?
How long do you have? That's the question. We might be here all night.
How to say? Well, I can give like a brief rundown. I mean, you have to think about it from the problem of... we'll just start here because I know Chad hates this one. Is the amount of time that teams have to spend outside of North America, but not just focus on that. If you make that into a bigger picture, if you kind of blow that up and look at it on a larger scale through all the different layers of North America, you need to have. And this is again going to go into the business side, but like there needs to be value for the teams that want to invest in North American Counter-Strike, which you can't do if you don't have Counter-Strike being played in North America. And then you need to have also the partners who want to sign on to give the funds over to these teams that can help them build these rosters.
I fell asleep.
If none of your players are in North America, you get no value once again from them. So we need to, Counter-Strike in North America needs to start at a grassroots level again. And just kind of rebuild itself. I think probably the best answer that I've been trying to kind of formulate, which is kind of hard because I don't have a great knowledge of the scene. I think Bleh alluded to it just recently, or maybe it was Twistzz. I think probably the coolest project that anyone in North America could do right now at the moment is combine some North American players with some Brazilian players as well. And you're going to have that language barrier to a certain, or I mean, probably going to be a huge issue, to be honest with you. But if you can find the right players from Brazil who can speak English and the American players who can incorporate into them, and you kind of meld those two scenes together, then all of a sudden you have a little bit more of an option where all the teams in North America who struggle to find new players because there's no real player base in the competitive scene. If you can supplement that with Brazilian players, then all of a sudden you're cooking with gas. You can probably find a winning solution there in some team. But at the moment, I think really with North America, it's the same story that we had at the beginning of CSGO, where the entire scene needed to be rebuilt from the ground up, and that's the same thing that has to happen now. There's no short-term answer to it.
Something has been like floated as an idea, could be like having a swing, like a North American swing, where you go and you have one big event, right? But around that, you have smaller events. So when these teams come to North America, they don't fly in and leave. They fly in and they play a bunch of events. So what could happen with that is the North American lower teams would get to practice against the European good teams. And you'd have that knowledge then for maybe a 2-month period, which is about convincing everybody that they want to spend that much time in that part of the world.
Short term, the best thing you can do in NA is FPL. If FPL and NA can really take off, and we saw the way that really helped the European scene acclimate rookies to a higher level of play, and we've seen how fast it is for some of these FPL stars to get into teams because they're already playing high-level Counter-Strike and they need to learn the team side of things rather than the individual side of things. In NA, they need to learn both, like individually and team Counter-Strike. So if you have a world in which FPL can really take off in North America and players can really be invested into it, then all of a sudden, once again, you have players improving constantly and can step into teams a little bit quicker.
All right, we're going to do 5 more questions, and then we're done. So 5? I'm feeling generous.
It's almost 11.
You want to make it 3 more questions?
Let's do 3.
Okay, Prof spoken, everybody. We'll stay over here
There
with
are
the
other
big sun.
people here working except us. You know?
Okay, yeah, fair enough. He's correct. All right.
Yeah, so it's a question to everyone on the couch. If you would pick a team outside of the top 30 who would make a big stage run, who would you pick? Who do you think has a big story to tell?
All right, let's find the top 30
Damn.
teams.
Outside of top 30, making a deep.
It's going to get
run.
real hard outside the top 30,
That's
right?
we're getting into Tyloo territory.
All right, here we go.
Right now.
Where's Apex ranked?
Actually, the HLTV rankings on the application itself stop at 30.
Yeah.
That's messed
So
up.
I don't know, like, where are Apex in the world rankings?
Apex in the world rankings.
Probably not in the top 30.
They're not in the top
Bad
30.
News Eagles are even in the top 30, so that's very
You've
difficult.
stumped the crew here, mate.
Wow.
We
I don't even know.
We stopped
Yeah,
counting
that's
at 30.
What goes after 30?
So something like Blue Jays, Sinners, Skate.
Even Rare Adams in the top 30.
I could give you an answer, but it would mean absolutely nothing. I wouldn't even know where, I wouldn't even be able to defend it. Yeah, one of EG's 3 rosters. would probably-
Okay. That one, unfortunately, we can't give you a good answer. 2 more questions. All right, I'm coming back up here. I'm coming to Mr. HLTV shirt. I know that Martin, when he sees your shirt, he starts spamming in Discord. He's like, get that guy on, get that guy on. So here we go. You're keeping the boss happy.
Right, so this question is for everyone. It's rather weird. So, do you think observers are neglected? Like, nobody talks about observers. They are not really shown in media. I feel like for the work they do, they are pretty neglected. And I wanted to hear what you think. Like people, like unknown FME, Zarks, Prius, whatever.
The observers. Yeah, okay. So I'm very good friends with Rushley123456. And I think that he is the best observer in the world. But in terms of them getting credit, I think that one of the things that's a bit of an issue these days is the observer team is no longer just one guy pressing 1 to 0, right? The observer team has grown to multiple different roles. And I try to give credit to these people when we talk about them, and even when we're doing the broadcast, right? So there's certain people in these positions who are very, very good at what they do. I think Rush he works for ESL full time. That's why you only ever see Rush on an ESL broadcast. But in my opinion, and he is my friend, but I truly believe this, he's the best observer. He tells the best story. It's not just about catching kills. Observers need to understand that. But you have other people in different roles. For example, there's a guy called Max. Max is a German guy as well.
Yeah.
And Max works, he's an EVS operator. Now what EVS is, maybe some of you know, but in the production truck, he would normally do replays. But Max plays Counter-Strike. Max is like everybody in this room. He's a Counter-Strike fan. So when Max does his job, he's good at his job because he understands the game. And now Max is in a different role where he gets to pick what goes out to broadcast because he's so good at his job. And then he has a team of people around him. We got Jens, fuck it, whatever.
Just for context too, Max is, if you watch a Blast broadcast, and they kind of innovated this, if you see when there's a quiet moment, someone's saving, and there's like going to be 30 seconds not of action, and a replay pops up during those 30 seconds, that's Max's innovation. And there's very few people who can do that because most other replay operators that come into these events don't know Counter-Strike well enough to say, we're going to switch away from the actual live game and show you a replay. So Max is able to do things like that that have been very well received.
And there's other people now. So for example, like you mentioned a couple of names there. Chev, for example, mainly does main observing, which is what like Prius would do or Rush would do. But there's other guys who do things like context observing. Yeah. So it's someone's job. At this event, there's a guy called MC. He's a wizard. He does all these different cam paths and stuff that you see on the broadcast that look really cool. That's his entire job. And one of the other things that he does during it is he will fly around in live action to find a grenade that blew away, or where did a gun, right? The little details that we as commentators, we can't see.
Yeah.
So they're covering off all of those things to show us. But in terms of what's getting shown, right? The point that you've made or the question that you've asked, it's a very big one because the majority of the broadcast that everybody here, including us, wants to watch is the game. So the quality of the observer, the replay team, and that entire package of people is by far the most, or one of the most important parts of the broadcast. So in terms of them getting credit, you're going to have a tough time having a tournament organizer who hires these people to give the credit to them, right? They're not a forward-facing position. But we all should love our observers, especially the good ones, because they're the people who show us all the action. They're not always going to get it right. Sometimes, like us, they have a bad day. But their job is very important. So, great question. Yeah, we should give more love to our observers.
Yeah, underappreciated for sure.
All right, one more question. Well, one last question here. Jason, I'll let you pick the hand.
Fast as hell, man. Well done.
Okay, you like it quick.
I do.
All right.
You guys.
Here I come. Squeezing through, thank you very much. All right, hello, sir. What is your question?
My question is, actually, I know Anders is a fan, but how important is analytics and analysis of actual player positions for coaches preparing for games and preparing for opposition? How much is it used at the moment, and how important is it in the future?
Okay, Jason, you're probably the best person to start with this because you've been a coach.
What is it? How important are like the analytics of individual players?
The geeky side of Counter-Strike, watching demos, using Skybox, all that kind of stuff.
It's getting there. I don't think it's as powerful as it could be quite yet. I think the biggest problem with that side of preparation in Counter-Strike at the moment is we have all these really cool fancy tools to use to like kind of see the game and visualize the game. But what coaches and analysts most need is time, which is obviously always the enemy. And I don't think we've really developed a whole lot of analytics that can like point a coach or an analyst into the right direction to be able to say, here's this number that shows that we're not doing X well enough. So this is what I'm going to put my focus on. It was my struggle as a coach in Team Liquid as well, was when you're preparing for a game one day, you play that game, you're preparing for like 12 hours for it, and then the next day you have the very same situation, and all of a sudden you're watching a demo, and I have to go through and manually find like 6 rounds to go through. But if I had a tool that I could say, I want to find every single round in these 3 demos that this situation occurs. Then all of a sudden, your time spent actually just searching for the things that you want to show your team just drops. So I think from a team scale, coaches have that kind of a struggle to deal with, and analysts. I think when you want to talk about player analytics, most players on teams will do their own research into like the really nitty-gritty individual player things they need to find out for their position, and they're obviously very, very good at that. They can do that in a snap. I mean, I had Liquid players that were able to kind of skim through a demo and figure out how a player was going to be playing against them, or how to move against them as well very, very quickly. So it's massively important, but I don't think we've yet found the tools that can showcase or develop it, and we could actually verbalize how important it really is.
I don't know, Bleh, do you use any tools when you do your analysis?
I just mostly like watching watching demos basically.
Just the demos,
Just the demos. But at the same time, like, when it comes to like, if you don't really have time to prep, for example, and I'm like, all right, it's going to be probably this map. Just load up the VOD, 2x speed, just watch what's happening over there, just to get a gist of how a particular game might play out. But again, I think it depends on what your role is and how much time you have to work with that, right? So many good tools, but like you said, if you're able to make it a little bit more smarter, like you said, you find out a few scenarios, I think it'd be such a great help.
If you want to have a good look of like how important that kind of stuff is, there's a guy, Danny Mahone. Go to his YouTube channel. I don't know if you ever watched him. He's done really good content for Blast and for ESL. He's a former analyst over at NIP, worked under Threat for a while. And now he kind of makes YouTube channels breaking things down, or make YouTube videos just breaking down like the nitty-gritty details going into different matches. If you want to see what it's actually like for an actual professional analyst to break things down in the way that he does it, check out his channel. He's got a bunch of cool videos that talks about all those dirty little details.
Oh. Prof, you had a little stint as an analyst. Did you use any tools or not really?
Not when I was coaching. I used Noesis.
Okay, yeah.
And it was just like
that's free.
Standard 2D map.
2D map, and they also had like filters for stuff, like in terms of like opening duels, blah blah, and stuff like this. And this is very useful if you're not playing HLTV matches, which my team didn't. So you download the demos and throw it into the thing, and you find like who's taking the most opening duels and all of these stats that are pretty useful. But you can't really, as Moses said, you can't really filter down stuff, although there are some of these like
there's a couple things you can, but
like heat maps and like where the
really basic
stuff,
the
nade usage in terms of like the whole map where the most nades are thrown, mollies, smokes and stuff like that, where you can like kind of get some
and it depends on the teams too. Like I know when I was coaching, it was me and I had an analyst working beneath me, so I could say I'm going to take this, you take this, and we're going to kind of divvy up the work and put it all together tomorrow morning. I know when Yanko was coaching for FaZe, he had no analyst. It was just Yanko doing the job of what I had 2 people to do. And I know there are other organizations that have a coach and 2 analysts. So when you start getting into that section, you start seeing that different orgs have a different amount of resources. They get have a little bit more fun with that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, hopefully that answers the question. There's not a huge group of people who love the analytical content, but maybe we can start spawning a little bit more of that. All right. So we'll come to the conclusion of our second ever live audience HLTV Confirmed show. There was no alcohol, so I'm glad that you all stayed somewhat entertained regardless of that. But thank you all for coming, right? Those of you who were at the start, I think most of you were. I was just saying how much we appreciate having an audience that wants to come and watch a bunch of clowns here sit and talk about Counter-Strike for 3 hours. It truly is an honor to get to do something like this. And without fans like you coming and enjoying these events and coming to watch the Counter-Strike and loving Counter-Strike like we love Counter-Strike, this wouldn't be possible. So thank you very much. You guys turning out means we can do more of this in the future. Thank you. Now, we've had a list of guests this evening. Dexter at the start, obviously, we had a bit of a technical doohickey. Then we had Twistzz here. Bleh, thank you very much for being the runner with the mic. Jason filling in for Striker. And Prof, who's the man when we come to these events, the guy who does the most to make them happen. We obviously have Lucas there in the production, and I want to thank everybody from Experian as well, because they've been marvelously accommodating. Yeah, we came here, we saw the space, and has everything we want and more. So our expectations for this have kind of been blown out of the water, I think.
Leave a like, follow, subscribe to whatever they have, all the social media.
These camera angles, man, today.
It's insane. Like these two floaty boys.
It's been great. Quick shout out again to our sponsors, Xtrfy and Bitskins, and to the bosses over at HLTV for trusting us to bring you this type of content. We're obviously going to have the break coming up after this event. We'll do a show to kind of wrap up the season late next week. Well, we haven't worked on a day just yet, but Striker should be back with us. And then during the player break, maybe we'll have some different type of guests come on. I know Forrest is a guest that we've been trying to get on the show for a while. I know a lot of people are interested in hearing what he has to say. So yeah, we'll continue to bring the shows. And then once we get back underway in the second half of the year, we'll be having hopefully more events like this at the bigger events.
Maybe
so, yeah,
Rio?
Maybe
Rio?
Yeah, it would be nice to go to the major, get it happening there. But again, and there's a couple of familiar faces here. This is the second event we've done, and you've come back. And there's two of you right there. There's a bunch of you around. So thank you very much. We love the support. We appreciate the support. And let's hope that the Counter-Strike, once we get back in the Cathedral of Counter-Strike, is a banger, because that's what we all want to see. So I hope everyone has a great weekend. I hope we get the NAVI versus FaZe Grand Final to decide the world #1. And again, thank you. Good night.
Add some fun to your space with Xtrfy, designed in Sweden with focus on quality products built on experience. You're looking at Project 4, their 4th generation of products with super cool colorways to stand out, with matching sets to satisfy with a solid B4 bungee, lightweight ergonomic M4 mouse, the K4 keyboard is fantastic, all of which are performance focused, and finish it off with colorful GP4 mouse mats that are bold in design and smooth on the surface. The retro theme in particular has got the feels. Complete your setup with Xtrfy. No regrets guaranteed.
Stuck ranking up? Lost the motivation to grind? Bored of clicking heads on aim maps? Get some color into your game. Bitskins.com. Buying and selling skins made easy. Tons of payment methods and instant cash outs. Just choose your dream skins, select your preferred payment method, and start grinding again. If you want to play like the pros, you gotta look like the pros.